What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come talk some Eagles and Sixers with us. Let's go. Let's go. This ain't the fuck like this game, he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Here, you're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc. Got to make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, locations in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Make sure you go check them out. SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Greg Milakovic, Brian Wilson, Nick DelGozzo. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there listening, welcome in. We'll do Crumbs of the Week at the end of the show. MLB spring training delayed. The season may be delayed. Probably ties into a crumb of the week because that's what they're going to be until they get a deal done. But we'll talk a little bit about Major League Baseball and maybe the start, maybe not. Embiid plus Harden equal championship. So we'll have a two-poll night for the family out there because obviously two shows today led with Sixers, rightfully so. We have nothing going on really in the sporting world. We're on a little NBA, obviously, All-Star weekend. So we don't really have anything going on. So we figured tonight, you know what, we'll go a little bit semi-different and we'll circle back and look forward a little bit to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean by circle back is we sort of just got done talking about them not that long ago. But we're going to look forward. Yeah, we're going to look forward when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles and what they have to do in terms of a franchise quarterback. And that's going to be brought to you by BetUS. And BetUS is one of the leaders in online sports books. They've been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link right in our description, not only over on Facebook, but pinned in our comments over on YouTube. So BetUS, and you get 125% sign-up bonus by depositing $50. That's it. That's the minimum. Deposit $50, you get 125% sign-up bonus. Do the math, people. Do the math. All right, that's a huge bonus. Go jump in. Use the link. Maybe wait till the show's over. But if you have YouTube Premium, do it now. You can still listen to us while you're over there on BetUS. And like I said, they've been in the market for a long time. Anybody that's been in the gambling world and throwing fuzzles around know all about it. So use our link, again, in our description on Facebook and over on YouTube, pinned in our comment section. Our first poll for tonight's show is the Philadelphia Eagles are a franchise quarterback away from competing for an NFC Championship. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the follow, comment in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And answer the first poll because, again, we're going to have two of them for tonight's show. I mean, I guess what's a franchise quarterback? Like at this point, like what are we getting? Are we getting a top 10 guy? What's the value that we're getting back? I mean, I guess when we're saying franchise, we're getting somebody in that
top 10 guy.
Yeah, upper echelon of quarterbacks around the National Football League. So, I mean, I guess if you think Deshaun Watson's that, even though he hasn't played for a year, then okay. If you think obviously Russell Wilson's still that, obviously getting a little bit older, but if you still believe he's still that, then okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to get a couple guys in to say, okay, if I plug this guy in, does that make me an NFC championship competitor? You know,
not a franchise, but I hear you. You know what I mean? Like, just of those like veterans that you just mentioned, you know, obviously Watson's younger. You know what I mean? If he was to clear everything up, you know what I mean? But, you know, if you're able to bring in Rusty Nail and, you know, say A-Rod, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we know, I'm just saying. Yeah, you know, I know you guys can dream and hope and love that.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, you can sign me up for that one.
Yeah.
Check, please.
It doesn't have to be
Aaron?
I think this depends on what I'm like. There's a lot of factors to this. What am I giving up to get one of these guys? You know, and I don't really care about draft picks. I'm not Mr. Draft Pick. This city, ever since the process years, fell in love with draft picks all around. Like, it's been the city of draft picks. Let's circle jerk each other for draft picks. Hey, let's talk draft picks again. That's all we've cared about as a city, right? And I get it. We're not alone here in cities that care about draft picks. I care about some. Right, I need some. I don't want to be the Rams moving forward. I mean, I'll take their championship, right? Because you go all in the win, and that's what I think more teams are going to learn from and try to copycat. We know the NFL is a copycat league, and I see more teams now saying, "Screw the pick." Like, I got a guy like Matthew Stafford, and I'm a quarterback away. Now, listen, when you talk about the LA Rams, that's what I got to compare us to if we're talking about championship aspirations, etc. I want to compare us to the best team in football this year, and that's the Rams. Listen, they had some star power already around. So let's not forget this. I don't know. There's really good players on this football team. We talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Stars outside of our offensive line, right, where we believe there's like those guys exist. And that, listen, you want a great offensive line, right? Okay, so nobody's taking anything away from it. But outside of that, where are the stars? So, yes, maybe Russell Wilson makes us a lot better. Absolutely, right? Deshaun Watson makes us a lot better.
I think if you get a quarterback that can really throw the ball, you would see that we have a really good receiving core.
Okay, but again, we're not. I love Devontae Smith more than probably most do, but we're not.
I like Quez a lot too.
Fine, but they're not like, we don't know if Devontae's a star. He's projected to be a star. I expect.
Yeah, they're not Cup and Odell though, right? To your point, yeah. Tommy, they're not Cup, Odell, and Woods, right?
Yeah, I'm not going in with this roster that, in my opinion. This is my opinion, that is ready to win right now. Now, will I take one of them guys? And
you could sign a receiver too, though.
I got you. Well, hear me out.
I know.
Can you sign bring in one of these guys and they put you over the top? I don't know with this roster. Like, I don't know. I think it's very good. I think it can be good.
Do they make you the best team in the NFC East?
Maybe.
I would say yes.
I mean, just to take, no, I understand.
So let me just finish my answer so you guys can move on here, because I don't want to go too long either. But I disagree that they're just a franchise quarterback away. I think there's some holes still, right? I don't love this defense. I don't think this defense is air quote ready to win. That doesn't mean that if you brought in a Rodgers, that doesn't make everything look better, and they're a really good football team, right? I know this is just saying NFC Championship, right? Okay, be able to quarterback away from competing for an NFC Championship. Well, the competing means winning one, right? So if we're going all in on a quarterback like this, the goal isn't just for an NFC title game. The goal is to win it all then, right? Almost like when you go in for James Harden. The goal is to win now. It's not to win 4 years from now. So is this roster ready to do that? Now we're going off no free agent signings yet. We don't know what the roster is going to look like. I totally understand all that. But right now, what I watched last year, I don't think this team is ready to compete in an NFC title game, even with one of those quarterbacks. I think they're way better, and they're okay. If I say they're fourth in the NFC, is that a shot? I'm saying they're better, but are they now one of the classes as a roster? Like, Russell Wilson's a pimp; he's going to make you better. Aaron Rodgers automatically going to make you better. But all right, and Deshaun Watson's automatically going to make you better. But how much? How much? 11 wins? Like,
if you get there, you're that good. You got a chance to win. You know this.
I get it. I just don't.
The year we won, did you think we were going to win?
No, I'm all for.
I mean, like after Carson went down, like you get there, you just start clicking. You know,
depends what tape you watch. But
I mean, I feel like we kind of saw the Rams going to win. I feel like we kind of saw it coming. You know, they kind of got there.
Yeah, but my point to you is, and to you guys is like, okay, I'm not against one of these because I'm all in, right? I'm all in. Right, so let me make sure that's clear here. Like, I want to be all in. I'm not going running it back per se. Right, I want better. And do I think this roster then gets you closer with one of those guys? Absolutely. But I would need to see what else happens after that. Right, like, okay, what pick did we make? How much did we give up? What free agents did we bring in? Like, I need to see more of it. And I believe it. If you sign one of them guys, you're gonna lure more free agents here, right? That's just common sense, right? So you're gonna be able to bring some guys in. I just disagree that we're just that quarterback away. Like there's more pieces than just the quarterback for this football team. And so I'm going to disagree because I think there's going to be more agrees out there in the chat world that are more like, yeah, Russell, we're the best team in the NFC.
We're getting a lot of shit here. Anybody else getting that?
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy. It's like a lot of shit happening right now. I don't know. Just started like last minute, probably.
Just some static towards your end.
But I agree with you. I disagree to the poll and agree with you. I would just look at the two. The last two examples, all right? And you're not, I understand one was the GOAT and one was the Rams. You know what I mean? But if you're looking at the Bucks and the Rams, the last two to win it, there's a lot of pieces there when those guys got there. You know what I mean? And anytime you get the GOAT, you feel he makes everybody around you better, right? You know what I mean? So that was the Buccaneers. Buccaneers were loaded with talent. I mean, come on, he went. You know what I mean? And then obviously the Rams. You got the best defensive tackle in the game. You got, the best cornerback in football, air quote. That's, that's everybody, people's pick. That's cute. That's fine. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he is, you know what I mean? But I know.
Got a rank pretty good.
I know. Good. Just saying, you can't.
Well, take the hate out. The guy's best corner in football. Why can't we?
You got beat for 75. That was cool. That was
okay.
Awesome.
But is he not the best corner in football?
I guess
that's the question. Is he the best corner in football?
Nah, probably not.
Okay, then who? Then who? I know agendas when I say it. So who?
No agenda. Arguably.
Who's better? That's it.
Arguably.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's the best. Go ahead.
And all those receivers, all those other pieces they have. You know what I mean? So they had to, like I said, they had to do that. You know what I mean? So it was the joke, fuck those picks, the T-shirt, by the GM, all that was cute and stuff. You know what I mean? But they were a piece, you know what I mean? And you still need luck and you still need other things to go your way. You need the 49ers guy to drop the ball. You know what I mean? There was a lot of time left in the game. I don't want to kill that poor kid. But you know what I mean? You still need a lot of breaks, to win championships in all those sports. You know what I mean? And you saw that this year with them. So that's the only reason I would disagree. But to like Will said, of course, those guys are going to, any one of those guys, if you're talking about Wilson or obviously Rodgers is, really, really special, or Watson that, is able to play football and not, you're not going to miss him for 8 games or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Of course it's going to, it's going to make your football team better, and, I don't know. I'm not saying this year was a mirage, you know what I mean? Like tip your cap to what they did. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that at all, but it was a product of, an easier schedule down the stretch. And I know we always say, listen, you got to play who's in front of you. And that's not a fault to them. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. They ran the football. They got better on defense, no thanks to Gannon. I know people love him. And, I know, okay. There's a particular guy that loves him, but Gannon's a moron. You know what I mean? So, but just a lot of things, went their way, and they made their own breaks and they took care of business, you know what I mean? But I don't know how good they are, you know what I mean? I think, they're still missing a bunch of pieces, you know what I mean? So I'll move on. That's the way I look. I still think there's, and those 3 draft picks are huge. You know what I mean? That's why, like you said, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Without a crystal ball, if you're to get one of those guys, you got to give up 3 of those picks. You know what I mean? So if you were to land, I'm just saying, if you land A-Rod and you had to give up all 3 of them, are you in? I'll ask you that as I'm leaving.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not in. I'm
always in for a star quarterback.
Yeah, honestly. I'm into a point though. Like you're not going to.
I wouldn't give up 3 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers. He's too old to me. I wouldn't give up 3 for any of them. If they want 3 first-round picks, fuck you. You're not getting 3. Yeah. You're just not getting 3. I will give 2. I'd prefer not to give 2 this year. 1 this year, 1 next. Keep 2 this year. See, I'm with you guys. Like I'm not against with what you're saying, but I would agree to the poll. I do agree that we need more. But I mean, I'm under the thing that if we get the quarterback, we're also getting more, like obviously we have to draft some defense. And I still think that we need an edge rusher or just a guy that gets to the fucking quarterback consistently, which we just did not do enough last year. And obviously we need linebackers. We'll never draft one early. So I love the guys that are like, draft this linebacker. That'll never happen. So hopefully we pick one like the 3rd round. That'd be cool. But I would go probably safety or D end, obviously. D end. It could even go corner. You got to go a defender in the first round. You can't trade all 3 picks. So I'm not for it if you're saying we have to trade all 3 picks, but I think you can get it done without trading all 3. And I would love to bring Russell in. Bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him in. I see myself wearing a Wilson Eagles jersey as we speak. Bring him in. I'm all for it. And I do think that we'd be the best team in the NFC East. And this is also on the contingency that Jason Kelce does not retire. I don't think he's going to. But I mean, that is up in the air. I don't think he's going to. But yeah, I'm all for it. Bring him in, dude. I'm ready to win.
Yeah,
the league changes every year.
I'm ready to win. I just don't know how close I am to winning.
I don't think that we're that far though. How far are we? If you have a dominant O line, if you get the D line better, I still think we have a really good corner in Darius Slay. So we are missing some pieces in the secondary, but everyone is. And I don't know who we're going to draft. I don't know. We have money, but we do have money. You know what I'm saying? Like we can go sign.
Well, we won't have as much because
obviously.
But we're taking money off our books too because we're getting rid of some first round picks that are going to equal obviously some decent money. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, not huge, but decent.
Sort of take it away. Like, listen, dude, if you're telling me, like, I feel like I could give you a pick this year and a pick next year. Honestly, and then people were talking to me about 2 firsts. Listen, this is horrendous. 2 firsts, Jalen and Dillard, you can knock it off, okay? Because now you're not getting 2 firsts. Because I'm giving you a starting.
I don't understand how
I'm giving you a starting quarterback. I'm giving you a starting quarterback. I'm giving you, arguably,
I'll give you a first this year, second next, Jalen Hurts
and Dillard.
I'll even throw Dillard in too because I just don't give a fuck about it. But if you want,
I'm giving you potentially a starting left tackle, which are hard to find, right? And I'm giving you, I'm not saying he is, but to a team that's trying to restart a little bit, like Seattle is. You can sell your fan base on a Jalen Hurts right now, right? You could sell it to your fan base on a Hurts and a Dillard.
I don't dislike Jalen Hurts
and a first round pick and a second.
Good enough.
Sell it. You can sell that to your fan base. The Texans could too. Any of these teams, if I'm packaging Jalen Hurts in there, like forget Green Bay, but the rest of those teams that are in bad shape right now are saying, "Oh, okay, we're getting a young starting quarterback that can run around, make plays like Russ did." It's almost like the perfect trade-off. So I'm not giving you 2 firsts and 2.
Quote unquote went to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm giving you a first, a second, and I'll give you those 2 players. And I'm not trying to fleece anybody or overvalue Hurts and Dillard, but I just think, hey, if I'm giving you players too, you're not getting as many picks from me. And I'd rather go that way and sort of restart some of the young players in his organization, even though I think, as a fan, that the Eagles are going to probably miss on picks again because that's what a lot of teams do.
That's what we do.
That's what they do. So again, that's why I'm not all into picks, but I do need stuff here because I don't have those. I don't have enough stars. I feel like to win, so I could use 2 first round picks still to try to find 2 or at least 1, and then like we were talking about. Hey, if I go out and I sign a legit linebacker, if I go out and sign another wide receiver per se, right? Or a D end, right? Just throw things out there. If I sign those 2 types of things, am I a quarterback away? Absolutely. I'm just missing a pass rush from my end, and I'm missing a linebacker. That's really what this football team is really missing, right? We noticed that running back by committee can work, right? So I'm not worried about that. We have a really good offensive line, right? Arguably top 3 in football. Right, and then you look at our wide receiver core, young, Jalen Reagor stinks, but when you talk about
he's still young, but he doesn't stink. I agree.
Devontae Watkins and Dallas Goedert, I'm in a good spot to grow there.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Maybe a veteran away. So like you're really 3 pieces away, free agent wise, and a quarterback to say, hey, I'm ready to play. Who wants to see me?
I think that's all doable this year, though. I think that's all doable.
I still need some young picks just to be a little deeper in spots, right? Like
honestly, Tommy, I'd be okay with trading one of the firsts this year, right? And then trading the other 2 to move up in the draft and get the edge rusher you want. Like that's what I would love to do that. Then you only have 1 first round pick up hit, so you can spend more money in free agency, and you still have picks in the 2nd, 3rd round.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you. And they do a better job later in drafts anyway. So if they go and target somebody, right, and forget the name, any position, D end, linebacker, whatever, right? We're just throwing stuff out there. Corner, safety. If they target somebody, I always believe in them when they target and go up. They usually do a good job. It's when they stay home they usually get themselves with their pants caught down, with their pants down. We talked about this 2 Sundays ago.
Yeah, they get cute.
They
stay home and get cute.
So I feel like when they target, they usually get it right. Like they targeted Carson. Forget the injury. Pre-injury, they were getting it right. Pre-injury things were going well. So,
dude, I seen a stat yesterday. I don't mean to cut you off.
Pre-injury in Super Bowl, they got it right.
They got it right.
That stat, like guys with 25 TD passes.
He's one of 5 guys. Yeah,
one of 5 guys ever to do it in multiple seasons, and he did it in 4, I think.
2.
Carson Wentz.
Oh, okay.
It's Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz, like 2 other guys, and then there's only like 7 other guys that ever did it once.
He's still pretty good.
What? It's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, you want to bring him back? League minimum, vet minimum.
What if he came back in Dell?
Full circle guy comes back and throws 45.
We're doing Pennsylvania chants again. What happened?
Our Ginger's home.
That'll never happen. He's a pussy.
Yeah. Never happened. He couldn't get it right with Uncle. Never get it right with Daddy Frank. You're not getting it right anywhere, buddy. But no, listen. I do agree. Like I said, I do agree to where you're going with it because obviously any one of those 3 types of caliber quarterbacks makes you 100 times better as a football.
Just much better. Yeah.
But I just need more. I need more to believe I can win. Now, can you still win with that? Maybe. I just think it's a little. I
don't think that Russell Wilson's done. By the way, I hear a lot of chirping out there that Russell Wilson's done past his prime. First off, I don't think that at all. I think he was hurt, and at the end of the year, he was healthy. He was playing great. I think he's going to have a great year next year.
I'm not worried about Russell Wilson. Like I'm not. I'm just not giving up 3 firsts for him, but I'm not worried about him at all. Like he'll be fine. And he's just a guy who's a playmaker. Like, so that's the start. Like, I need playmakers. And he can throw enough from the pocket. He can listen. I'm not like I think people were hard on Russ for some reason. I mean, that team sort of has gone south big time too around them.
Yeah, their defense went way.
The only
south.
argument is he does have 2 legit guys to throw to, but his offensive line is horrendous. Okay, there's like they really don't have a running game. They haven't had one there in a minute. So the things that we have, they don't have. And the only reason Russell's tough is because, they want to live in Philly, right? Can you get there to live in Philly? I don't know. I mean,
New York's not that far.
South Jersey's pretty nice.
New York's not far.
Most
of
them
you definitely don't want to live in
Marlton and Morristown anyway.
I mean, I think
the city's in bad shape right now.
They're showing at all.
We need to get some shit right over there in the city. City's in bad shape.
If you give me Deshaun, that's the guy I would take. Just granted, all things being equal.
Listen, I would love Deshaun. I also feel like you can maybe get him cheaper because you play that card. Like, I don't know, is he going to start fucking masseuses again? That's why I would play that card because I'm that guy. I'd be like, I want him cheaper. But if you can get Deshaun and he's not going to get more trouble by the league. I mean, yeah, obviously Deshaun's more of a risk. I feel like, but he's also younger. And I don't know. I mean, I think Russell's better, but I think Deshaun is extremely good.
I think the only risk is off the field though. With
no, I agree. Like
on the field, I think on the field
he's had a bunch of knee injuries though too. He's had multiple torn ACLs. Tore one in college, tore one in the NFL.
And Russ is Uncle Durable, so I mean, I don't expect that to change just because he got nicked this year. Like he's been a durable guy for as much as he moves around and shakes. He's been extremely durable, and there's something to be said about that. Something to be said of that. Guys take care of their body, the trends of stuff. So I'm more. Listen, I'll take Russ right now, and you don't.
Best ability is availability.
You don't got to pull my arm. You don't got to make me do it. You're not. There's certain things you're not getting now. Ethan and then Greg go because I guess you're ready. I didn't think you were ready, but Ethan says 3 firsts, Jalen and Dillard for DK and Russ. Would you do it? And I just feel like you're giving up way too much. But
I mean, do they want to trade DK?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. To me, I just want Russ. I don't need the DK. I listen. I love DK Metcalf. He's like superhuman out there. But to me, I don't need him. I feel like our receiving core is already pretty good.
Would you do this? Yes or no? You don't do that?
Oh yeah, I'd do it. Fuck it.
Okay.
But I don't want. I'd rather not trade 3 first-round picks. So I feel like you cut the first-round pick out. You cut DK out. If you're telling me DK and Russ, and you tell me I can have DK and Russ, I open the menu. I don't even need to see the menu. Yeah, of course.
I don't know if those 5 players, right? To be fair, I don't know if those 5 players will ever be those types of will ever live up to it, right? Like the 3 first.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ever DK and Russ. So
I doubt they are.
I highly doubt.
I'd be willing to bet they're not.
Yeah, I'm going to venture to go out on a limb and say no. So I mean, to me, when you're Seattle, that's a no-brainer. I'll pack a lot of bags for 2 younger players and 3 firsts. I'm saying, okay, take it whatever you need. You need anything else while you're here shopping? Right? I mean, that's where I feel like a cup of coffee where you're in Seattle, enjoy yourself. Right? When in Rome. I mean, what else do you need?
Full circle. 2 guys you could have had too.
Yep. That's Jeffrey. Jeffrey jumped in for this move. Jeffrey. Hey, Jeff. He's fucking Russell still haunts him. I mean, Joe Banner can't say it enough. I mean, every time Joe Banner gets airtime, he can't say enough how much Jeffrey loved Russ, and rightfully so. But he just can never tell you enough. It's amazing.
Why is Larry not in the building?
I know.
What's going on here, Larry? By the way, I love how the NBA has so much pull that like they just canceled every other. There's no other sports going on right now. You have to watch this atrocity of an NBA fucking All-Star game.
Yeah, I'm not going to do this right now. Go ahead, Greg.
You don't have to do anything. I'm watching NCIS anyway. To the poll, I agree. And while I understand where both Tommy and Sweeps you're coming from, right? Like, because you're absolutely right. We have that playoff game and that stretch was an illusion, as we saw in that playoff game, right? We are far more pieces away, but I think the that upper echelon of QB that we've been talking about hides a lot of those facts, right? We do still have a really good offensive line,
looks all
barring Kelsey coming back, right? With Miles, without Miles, we've proven that we do have a pretty good running back by committee type of situation. Our wide receivers, while we are very lacking in depth, the 2 that we do have shown flashes of being pretty good. So at least from the offensive side, bringing in a guy of the 3 higher echelon players that we're talking about, I think we could definitely compete for the NFC. Again, now, Tommy, you're right. To your point, are we winning it? Probably not, right? As of right now, right? Right now, without any draft free agency happening right now, are we winning it? Probably not. But I think we can compete because I do think it puts us there closer in line with Dallas, right? It puts us closer in line with Dallas in the division. And then outside of that, then where does that put you, right? Tampa's not going to be as good depending on what happens with their quarterback, right? What is New Orleans going to be?
Doctor.
You're looking at other teams that made the playoffs this year that might not next year. Now, however, you go sign Jimmy G, and that's their answer for franchise QB, then no, we need a whole lot more pieces to go.
Yeah, listen, there's not again, it's not a crazy amount of pieces away, but it's like, okay, yeah, I'm taking Russell Wilson every day of the week. I'm just never giving anybody 3 first, right?
Sure.
I feel like that's too much.
I think that's outlandish. Like, I hang up the phone on you. Now, you want to talk about no players included. You want to talk about 2 firsts and like a 3rd? Sure. I even think that's a little. I've said this. I think that's maybe a little crazy too. I mean, so look at the value of what guys are going for around the league.
James Worthy.
Right? I mean, listen, what did the Rams give Detroit for Matthew Stafford? They gave them Jared Goff, so they gave him somebody to come in and start, right? A bridge quarterback, and then what, a first?
I think 2 firsts.
Yeah, they get one shot. They got a lot.
This got to be Dennis, right?
Yeah. 2 firsts for Matthew Stafford.
Let's see.
I'm
going to pull it up just to get it right.
I know it was a lot, though. I think it was a lot.
I'm just curious to see what.
Stafford to the Rams in change for Goff, 2 first rounds and a 3rd round.
Okay. And I think you give up less for Russell at this point. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. You're probably around the same. So you say, okay, I got to give you Jalen 2 firsts, which is fine because I'll give you 1 this year and I'll give you 1 next year. So I still have 2 this year to dabble with. Because the reason I don't care about 1 the following year is I'm trying to win in a 3-year window, and that first doesn't matter to me as much as these 2 firsts do, right? So I'm giving you 1 this year, I'm giving you 1 next year, and I'll give you a 3rd this year since I have 2 firsts. Still, I'll give you the 3rd now, right? So next year, okay, I'm without a first, but now I still have my later round picks, right? That's the deal. Sign me up. I'll do it tomorrow. You start talking about 3 first-round picks, I hang up the phone on you because I'm giving you Hurts. I'm giving you a bridge quarterback that you can at least sell to your franchise, just like in Detroit. They can sell you Jared Goff in the media preseason. The guy went to a Super Bowl, right? So it's like maybe we can win a couple games. Same thing. Jalen Hurts, he went to the playoffs, guys. Look at him run. Look at his numbers. And then you win 5 games. So it's easy. It's a no-brainer. I think anybody that would be against that deal just doesn't care about winning, and they'd rather talk draft picks. But now you're going to say to me, well, Tommy, you just said you wouldn't give up 3, so what do draft picks matter? They matter enough, okay? Let's not be animals here and get out of control. You still need some things when you're lacking talent in certain spots to try to get you to that level. And plus, you're not going to just come in here and bend me over either. Like, we know value. So that's how I'm looking at the whole process. Like, I still want some because I still want to try to be able to hit on some, and I can do that because right now I have the most value I'm probably going to have in a long time in terms of assets, first round picks.
Yes. That's the biggest key, Tommy. Yes.
Time is now, boys. Like
that's the biggest key is that we hold the entire NFL's looking at us. We hold all the chips right now. We have the most picks. We can do the most shit.
Yep.
Like that's why. That's the biggest key to me. That's that you just said it. That's number one key. That's why you can strike while iron's hot and make a bunch of big moves this offseason if you wanted to.
Absolutely, yeah. Because like you said, you don't need to make all 3. Like you can move up and make one splash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You make one splash. You know what I mean? If you get up, close enough, whoever you think that player is. You know what I mean? Like that fits your need. That's going to help you. Put you over the edge in at that position for 10 to 12 years, whatever. You know what I mean? So you can do that too. You know what I mean? So yeah, like you said, you got a ton of options. It's a good position to be in. The phone's going to be ringing. The only problem is Howie's on the other line. You know what I mean? So now you kind of need somebody to babysit him and figure the fuck out. You know what I mean? But it's surely a good position to be in. Like you said, especially whatever direction you want to go. You want to try to win in the draft. You want to try to win, via trade. You want to try to sign and bring guys in. You know what I mean?
And I do think we're a good destination.
Stuff like that.
Which I know some people are saying that we're not for some reason. I think we're a very good destination.
Come on.
Great offensive line, young receiving core, young, good tight end. I think we're a very good destination. Team that's just won a title recently. Big town, big city. I mean, it's all right there.
Brian, and the other thing, Wells?
I love the Brian out of you, but yeah.
I just felt like we were on good terms. So I feel
when are we never on good terms?
No, I mean, there's moments. But
I've had plenty of moments. I think we're always on good terms. It might be perceived that we're not.
Well, I'm in the perception world. We're live.
Yeah, whatever.
So Brian, now I don't even know what the fuck you said.
Thomas, now you're not a heel. Now you're not a heel anymore.
I don't even know what you were saying, but yes, you're factual. This is a great sports city. And when you look at the Eagles, when you're just talking about the Eagles, you're 100% right, because anybody that knows the game that's playing, right? So if Russell Wilson is a student of the game, per se, air quote, he's going to look at his football team and said, that guy took him to the playoffs. Like, that guy did? Okay. Right? I mean, I'm watching defensive coordinators on the sideline yelling, he can't read defenses. He's one look, right? I mean, we're watching the playoff game. So, I don't think you have to sell guys on the fact that this is a young
Moses.
This is a young football team. They're good. They're right there. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's really a sell. Like, if they were a 4-win football team this past year, then the conversation. And that's why this year's even more important to do it, right, boys? Because you just came off of
striking while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
Dude, the Admiral might be able to still play.
Like, even in free agency, you have a better chance of getting guys here that want to win if you bring in a Russ and you just were a playoff team, and then you add, then guys free agency are going to say, oh, I want to go play with him. Like, this is what all these leagues are becoming. It's becoming team up with them. Like, everybody starts teaming up with guys. Right, you get guys coming out of fucking retirement. Waddle comes out of retirement.
My guy, Bill Walton, 8th one in the world.
Doesn't even
know.
know.
He's the fight right now, Billy.
Dude's the best.
Doesn't even know where he is. Has no idea where he is. He's just waiting.
High as the kite. Wilt been done a long time now, man. Wow.
Yeah, 1999. Wow.
You know what these guys all have in common? Their fucking hands are massive. Every one of them. Look at this guy's hands. Will Smith.
That's broke. Will Smith's got a break.
Holy shit! Will Smith's got a couple broken digits there. Will. George Mike, and he's like the oldest center ever.
Hugh, I don't mean to bring you down, but what are we going to talk about?
Hakeem looks good too. Shit, Hakeem might be able to still play.
It's the worst franchise in professional sports. I don't care what anybody has to say.
Of course,
because they're the franchise that always goes back to former. Like, Danny Briere might be a great hire. You just got to go to former players. You can't get out of your own goddamn way.
I love the Flyers,
I'm not going to sit here and give them the airtime.
It's awful.
They don't deserve it. I heard about all these young players that stink. I heard about my goalie was the next coming of Christ, but he played between the pipes. Right? I heard all these things, right? And then I get a hockey team that's never good. This is never good. Like, they have moments, they have some years, right? Good for them, all right? But when you constantly just recycle, you deserve to lose. Because the only time you essentially went outside your organization was for Hexall, but he was still part of your organization at a point. This is why, I can't. We're not going to talk Flyers here, all right? They don't deserve the time. They don't deserve the time.
You can tune in on Tuesday nights with our guys at Hockey Happy Hour. They'll talk Flyers.
Well, they're forced to.
Everyone seems to think that. I mean, I think Hextall made a bunch of mistakes here, but he's done really well everywhere else. So it's like, did he, or like, I know everyone's like to blame Hextall right now, fucking Bobby Clark and shit. But like, Bobby, you've been making bad moves for fucking ever.
Bobby.
Yeah.
You just walked in that PJ Wellhane.
Yeah, that fucking fake smile forever, Bob.
Where's my car at? Where's my car, dude? The only thing I don't know you, Bobby. All right, I watched you walk out. Right, a little reckless. All right, you're an animal. And you listen, appreciate the trophies. I didn't get to see them, so shut your mouth. You understand? I wasn't alive for them. So I don't care about what you won in the 70s. I don't care. This organization won't change the jersey one time.
They're stuck there. That's what it is.
I think we're finally not stuck there anymore, but we just keep, like you said, the retread is a killer. The retread is a killer.
Somebody changed the sweater one time, right? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, everything's just old and outdated. The only thing new you brought in was the mascot. I mean, the fact that you're mascot.
They all leave and go. They all leave and win. They all leave and go and win, too. They come here. They're here first. We hire them. Then they leave and win. Craig Berube fucking left and won. Like, it's unreal. It really is.
Because it's a bad run organization, because all due respect and rest in peace, Mr. Snyder.
Since he passed.
Well, I would even say why he was here, because he was good. He
ran a good organization.
He ran a good organization.
Yeah, but they never won.
Back in the day, Wells. He then recycled.
The problem is they got stuck. They got stuck on thinking that we just got to beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, that's my point.
They didn't jump on that European we're just going to outskate everyone wave.
Yeah, we still don't know how to skate. We still don't know how to skate.
They still haven't.
Well,
this organization.
No, we're trying. We're trying, Tom. But we're trying. We're not. We still don't know how to. We can't draft European players. Everyone that we draft stinks.
Lay off an American skater one time. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, is there 40s? Like, is there anything to judge us on? Because this organization just literally drafts the slowest guys in the history of sports. Like, you can't make it up. When you watch Flyers games, it's like, is everybody faster? Yes. It's everybody. Like, I don't know if I turned on a game in the last 5 years. I'm just going to go 5 years for the people. In the last 5 years where I thought we outskated somebody. No, we might have dumped and been more physical around the boards and came away with the puck. But you got nobody that can go around somebody. Like, I feel like everybody's like skating in quicksand. I mean, listen, I'm not Mr. Hockey, and I can do a better job evaluating talent than the talent evaluators over the last 3 decades in this organization. 3 decades. That's what I'm going to tell you. And you can tell me I'm wrong. I'm not. 3 decades of just fucking meh. And you got my trophy from the 70s.
And it's shown because all we've done is all you do is get into the playoffs for so long, and you never win. Right? Yeah, we had those great streaks of getting to the playoffs, but what does that do if you don't win?
Nothing. Whoop-de-doo. We made the playoffs like fucking 8 teams did.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
Like, good for you. Like, okay, you went to a cup with Lindros. You lost. Okay,
they had a couple runs. And a cup were good.
But a couple runs aren't. Listen, a couple runs are fine.
No, I'm in full agreement with you guys. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying they jumped on the European wave too late, which was 100% true, and they haven't hit. They haven't hit it. Like, they don't. I feel like every time they draft one of these high guys, they don't hit. Like, we didn't luck out like Pittsburgh, and we just get fucking like 3 number 1 monster fucking we don't get superstars fall on our fucking lap. Like when does that happen to us? You know, we get fucking Nolan fucking Patrick. You know what? I'm afraid to play. I feel like I'm kind of afraid to play.
Look who was drafted after Nolan. I mean, there's good hockey players drafted after Nolan Patrick too. So
there was.
You know, whatever. They did enough time. But in terms of back to the Eagles, it's going to be an interesting all season on what direction they decide to go as an organization. But my knowings of Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, I'm going to tell the people there's a 95% chance that there is a Russell Wilson in the building here, or there is that franchise quarterback in the building. Like, it's either that.
We hold all the chips.
It's either that or they're going to getting one. Right?
They wouldn't have leaked it if it wasn't happening, right?
Like, I just believe in not believe in these guys. Like,
I hope it does happen.
I know they're true. I know their truths. We all know their truths. I'm
ready to win this fucking division. I'm sick of watching Dallas be good. Fuck Dallas.
Bury that fucking team. They leaked that story for a reason, right? It's what they do, Tommy, to your point, right? We know how they react and how they want to run this team in this city. And that's, you're absolutely right. They want to make the splash, and it's going to happen.
Yep, I do. I agree. So we have, like we told you tonight, we have a 2-poll night for the people. A little 2-piece nugget. And our second poll.
So 2-piece. No dips for Greg.
Nope.
No dips.
Is this the top 75? How is Russell Westbrook on there and Klay Thompson's not? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Wow.
They love guys that are terrible at the end of games, Sweeps. Big fans of them. Fucking Westbrook.
We could save this argument.
No.
I'm just talking the wealth.
I seen the emblem, so I thought that's what it was. Goodness.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know if we're putting Russell Westbrook as the top 75 player.
What they did is they took remember the one from 96 or whatever, the 51, and then they added 25 guys to it.
Sorry, it means whatever.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think.
His numbers.
I don't know. Russell Westbrook has great numbers. I've just never been a fan.
No, yeah. I'm not a big.
His numbers put him there. If you look at his numbers put him there.
Yeah, they do. But our second poll, basketball related, is brought to you by Manscaped, and you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. From the weed whacker, the lawnmower, the ball deodorant, the cologne, the body wash. What don't they have for you? Make sure you use our promo code. It is nice. Make sure you use our promo code A2D and get 20% off and the free shipping. We know how important the shipping is. That costs you even more than the 20% off, I feel like. And our second poll question for tonight.
Jerry West still looks pretty good. He's got to be in his 80s, right?
He probably shoots better than Ben.
He'll hit more foul shots than Ben for damn sure.
Our second poll question for tonight's show is Joel Embiid and James Harden will win an NBA championship together. Do you agree or disagree? If you're just tuning in, let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the follow. Join the conversation tonight if you haven't. And again, hit the damn like button. Be a subscriber. I agree to the poll because I know there's going to be a lot of disagreements in this one. So I agree. It's just I can keep it quick, and you guys can circle and we can talk more about it. But like my history and all our history of watching the NBA, and is it all the time? Okay, you can tell me no, Tom. It's not all the time, but when I team up a guard that's still elite with an elite big man, I usually get to where I want to get to. Usually, nothing's guaranteed, right? So all this is speculation. We haven't even seen them play together yet, right? But just off of that, I think they do. And with the emergence of Tyrese, who's only getting better, I think this team has a 3 max 4-year window where they can win, guys. They can win. And that's not just me trying to be a homer. Like, I'm not Mr. Harden, but I know what happens when you pair up a guy who can create his own at the guard position and a guy that's the best big man in basketball. Like that's usually a great combination to success in our history of watching the NBA. And I'm going to ride off of that. I'm going to live off of that. I'm going to say it's going to happen again because I just truly believe in it. I truly believe in Joe, and I believe in if these guys can buy into, especially James. Like, can James buy into getting the big fella touches early, right? Which I think he will. Like, I just think he will. I think they're going to both get their touches. Maybe some other guys don't get as many as they're used to, and that's okay because they're going to get enough, right? But I just believe that these two are going to win a championship together because I believe that much in Joel Embiid, right? I do. I have for a long time. I believe in his growth. He's only gotten better as a basketball player, which is great to see. But I believe in him, and I believe when you pair a top 10 player, especially at the wing position, with that big man, and if you look at the history, that's usually very successful. Very. Now, is that going to happen more than once? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't even seen them play together. But I'm going off of I'm going off of what I watched in the NBA for a long time. And I don't think that's an unfair argument because that's what we've watched. Now, is Joel Shaq? No, I'm not doing this. Right? Is Harden Kobe? No, I'm not doing this. But are they fucking close? Like, are they close? Yes, in a way they're close. They're not them. We're talking about one of the best players to ever played in Kobe. We're talking about one of the most dominant big men to ever do it, in my opinion, that I've seen in Shaquille O'Neal, right? Maybe the most dominant player ever, taking Wilt out of the conversation, right? So I'm not saying they're there, but in today's game, compared to their game when they were playing, they're right there. You're talking about the best player in the league and a top 10 player in the league. So are they those guys? I'm not saying it, but both guys are going to be Hall of Famers too. So it's close. I don't know. I believe in Maxey a lot. I think the bias is in a perfect situation. I think this team's in a perfect situation. Now can they put it all together and play together? That's the conversation that needs to be had. But in terms of the poll, I agree. They're going to win it. They're going to win one. Because the basketball gods are going to be on our side because of this loser. This loser that finally is out of here. Right? We're going to have something go right in the city for once.
I hope so. I hope so.
We trusted a process for Joel Embiid, and for the first time, and Greg, I don't care what you say, for the first time in Joel Embiid's career, he has a killer alongside him. A killer. No matter what our feelings are about the guy, he's a killer and a sniper.
Is he?
Come on, Wells. Come on, is he?
I mean, he's a fucking loser, is what he is. That, if you want to go face facts, he's a fucking loser.
Maybe
he is. He's the guy that can create his own shot at any time. I'm 100% with you, and I would have made the trade, and I hope to God that you're correct, and I'm rooting for him to win a title. I disagree to the poll, though, because I just think that James Harden's a fucking loser, and when he goes fucking 6 for 30 in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, they're like, this guy's a fucking loser. I just hope he doesn't cancer his way off the team like he's done for 2 straight teams in a row now. If he doesn't do that, we should have a really good 3 to 4 year window, like you're saying, with a really good chance to win it. So I hope he doesn't do that. If he doesn't do that, let's go win one.
Samuel,
I'm right with you. Let's go win one.
Daniel, what are you talking about? Like, how's the guy not a killer? Like, I don't understand. Like,
I mean, he's never won anything. Won a couple MVP.
Okay, and KD never won anything until he went and played with Steph. Right, so I mean, we can say that about a lot of players. Didn't win anything. Doesn't mean they're not a killer. Doesn't mean the guy's not a killer late in games. Doesn't mean the guy has a. Come on, now I think we're putting agendas. No,
he's good. He's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah, pretty. I think he's a little bit.
I don't like James Harden. I'm not going to change.
Is he
I'm not a guy that changes his colors just because he's now on our team.
I would just change the words. I'm not.
He's a good player. Yes.
I'm gonna agree because I'm gonna try to will it into existence. All right. Let's fucking go. That's all I'm gonna say. I wouldn't use that word. Who am I to chastise you for you? I mean, is he an elite scorer? Maybe in the history of the NBA?
Yes, absolutely.
I just wouldn't use that word because it just doesn't come to my mind. Like a guy like Kobe and D Wade and Jordan, those guys are killers. I don't look at it like that. You know what I mean? So, I'm not saying that. Listen, everybody maybe has a different definition. That's just the way I look at it.
Well, there wasn't anybody around Joel Embiid that you can even make a case that was a killer in his career, and this is the first time that there's a guy in. However, everybody wants a phrase killer. Doesn't matter to me. I phrase killer.
I will say, Tommy.
I phrase killer to a guy who can get buckets with 7 minutes left in a basketball game. Right, 5 minutes left. A guy that defenses have to prepare for and actually give a shit about, and a guy who can go off for 20 in a fourth quarter. That's the killer to me that he has. Now, I'm not comparing him to Kobe and the greats in terms of killer. I'm comparing him to like what's around the NBA right now. He's right there with some of the best scorers in the NBA. And if you're a great scorer like he is, I would assume you're a little bit of a killer. Now, how much? I'm not. That's debatable. I'm not like crowning the guy. Like I told you how I feel about him, but he's still elite. He's still elite.
Yeah, he's definitely elite. I totally agree. And I will say what's huge. You alluded to it, but what's huge is like when we stall out when the offense, everything bogs down, tight game in the playoffs. He's a guy that can go get his own shot, and we've lacked that guy, and we've needed that guy since Jimmy left. And so that's big. That's huge. That's like his biggest. If he can just not fuck up and then get some big shot, make some big shots down the end of the fourth quarter, would be great. I feel like That's exactly where he's needed for us.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. I mean,
one thing go in our favor before you turn it over to Greg and let Tommy respond. I see he's frustrated with some comments. Is he's never had this an elite center. You know what I mean? So let's hope that gets him over. Let's hope that gets him over the edge because he has disappeared in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So like to your point, Wells, I understand that he can do that when the offense turns into a half court and it bogs down and like it's pick and roll time, and we hope he can get to the line 20 times like he's done his whole career and get his own shot, which he still can. You know what I mean? But he's got to drain those. You know what I mean? They got to go in.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you say, Captain Obvious, no shit, shots have to go in. We can't have a 6 for 33. You know what I mean? Unless the big man's going for 50, and he can. You know what I mean? He's capable. Now he should also get Embiid.
If the other guy
some easier buckets,
there may not be enough fucking ball to go around for the big fella to get 50. That's the only thing that concerns me. You know what I mean? Like, let's play through the big man because he's the best player in the fucking league. He's the MVP, hands down. Right? So try not to fuck that up, Beard, and just fit in and fucking see what we can do, baby. See what we can do.
Yeah, I think him wanting to come here and with Daryl and then not only, like Michael Rubin, they're boys, but I think I sort of take the crumb out of his career right now just because I feel like he wants to go.
You're uncrumbing? Are you uncrumbing?
Well, no, I'm just saying I feel like he wants to go somewhere where he feels like he can win. And you say, well, Tom, what about the Nets? I just think that there was some obviously behind the scenes stuff that was going on there that didn't go well. Whatever. I'm not here to talk about,
What about Houston?
Okay. I mean, I think it was the end there. I mean, they were at the
end.
Yeah,
I know. They had a good run.
They were at the end.
They never won anything, but they were a good team for a while.
I know he hasn't won anything, but I'll continue to run it and say it too. He's never played with a guy like this. And this guy has never played with a guy like that. So both guys are getting to play with a guy they've never played with. Listen, I love Jimmy. Sweeps knows my love for Jimmy. But Jimmy is not on the same level as James Harden in terms of scoring. Jimmy's fucking great at doing things. He's tough. He's physical, right? But I also, I watched him come up short here for us in the postseason in big spots, shot clock violations, etc. So, listen, that was the best team that's been here, right? That was the best team we've seen in trusting the process. This is better than that. And you're going to tell me I'm crazy, and I'm going to tell you Tyrese Maxey makes that better than that because now Tobias is your fourth option. He's your fourth option, essentially. This team is deeper in scoring, guys who can get their own baskets. Joel Embiid has been missing guys who can score on their own a little bit, too, who can create, who can get their own shots off. It's been double Joe, and nobody on the court can get their own shot off. Like, that's what it's been. Like, and Jimmy can get it off, and that made us better, right? Because Jimmy could. He could create his own shot. So this is the closest thing.
Jimmy was huge. I mean, I'm not going to trash Jimmy. I don't like Jimmy just because he forced his way off the team. He didn't want to be here anymore. But Jimmy was a great player.
I think this is an upgrade from Jimmy.
I think Jimmy's better than James Harden in a heartbeat, but not scoring though. I agree.
Hold on. Jimmy was labeled a crumb coming in here too, supposedly by some.
Oh, I did. I crumbed him.
Not me. Okay. So I don't. There's a lot of guys. I know not you, Sleeps, and not me. We're big Jimmy guys. But
I'm saying, like, if you gave me an option, Jimmy or James Harden, I'd take Jimmy Butler.
Okay, but I don't because of the way I'm built. Because he actually needs to drive more into the paint to score, where Harden can
I would agree with you there
a little bit more. Harden will spread you a little bit more. That's the big difference from James Harden and Jimmy Butler. I
just know the gritty guy that Jimmy Butler is and James Harden's not. That's all.
Completely agree. Listen, we love Jimmy because of his toughness. I mean, that's my main thing on Jimmy Butler. I love him. I mean, you're really comparing two players that are
different players. They're different.
They're different. They're just. My point is, Joel has never played with a guy who can score at the level of James Harden and vice versa. Right? He's played with Chris Paul. He's played with a lot of great wing guys. He's never played. He got Clint Capella $100 million, right? That's what James Harden got Clint Capella. So he's never. So if he's getting Clint Capella $100 million, Joe might get $500 billion. Okay, $500 billion. So, listen, you can't guarantee nothing. I can't guarantee it will work. Nobody on this panel can guarantee it will work. Also, you can't guarantee it won't work either because we haven't seen it. But I gotta believe, and I'm talking this more into existence, that he's going to come here and say that it's Joel Embiid's basketball team, and I'm good just being the second guy.
I hope so. Is he ready to? Is he going to play Friday?
Supposedly,
is he?
Yeah.
I know they don't play till Friday, right? That's their next game after the break, which is ridiculous.
Off a whole week. Oh my god.
Yeah, they don't play till Friday. Yeah.
I mean, there's not a guy in the league that like Kyrie has great handles. I mean, I think we underestimate some things James does really well, and one's his handle. Like, I mean, he's got.
He's gonna get Joel some easy buckets for sure because he's always gets the big guy easy buckets. He's done that for a lot of years now.
And to your spacing point, I agree with you 100%, and that's why I feel like we're one shooter away. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't like. I understand they had to do what they had to do. I'm just and I wasn't crowning Seth Curry, but you got to give me at least back Patty Mills if I'm going to give up Curry because there's a guy. There's our. You need that other shooter. You know what I mean? And not saying that Mills is like 40% or anything, but I didn't like that part. I know
I would have loved me some Patty Mills. Sign me up.
It had to be done. I know it had to be done, but I think we still had them under the barrel as well.
I agree.
Games was going
because they didn't want to play anymore.
Well, you know what? I think it was
going to walk too. You know what I mean?
Harden and Durant clearly are button heads.
Do you think they wanted Millsap because they wanted more? They felt like, okay, the buyout market for bigs isn't great. There's a better buyout for perimeter guys. So they said, you know what? We actually need some size coming off our bench.
Hopefully,
I'm just asking. I don't know. Like, do you think?
No, I mean, maybe.
From what I was reading, it was Millsap and Marks had kind of realized that Millsap wasn't in the right situation. Whatever happened in Brooklyn just didn't turn out very well. And so he just put him with Harden knowing he was going to a good team. So I don't know if that was more Marks just throwing him in or if Morey was, to your point, Tommy, thinking, hey, with us getting rid of Drummond as well, we're now a little less deep with some size, especially experience size, right? We got, two deers on hardwood floors in B-ball Paul and Bassey. So you need some depth.
Love B-ball Paul.
You need some depth with some veteranness. So it very well could be both, the best of both worlds there. I don't know.
Gave us good minutes the other night in Milwaukee, right? I mean, I thought he gave us some good early minutes, late, not early minutes, but you know what I mean? Like first time.
Millsap's a veteran.
Yeah. Mills. Like,
I wish it's Utah Paul Millsap and not.
But he's
older
now, but he's still a veteran. He'll probably give you a good 8 to 10.
That's why I immediately.
But he's also potentially a buyout victim here with us. There's also an opportunity we could buy him out.
Philly,
I would like that because I like B-ball Paul. Get me some B-ball Paul.
It's sad you're a Nets fan, Philly, because you got the biggest loser in sports. So I wouldn't even bring up what James Harden's done wrong when I got a guy back like I got back, right? Like I would lay off of Harden's crumb issues. And what super team did he leave? A guy who's not playing half the time? A guy who maybe doesn't even care about basketball? And then what? A guy who's hurt again? Love KD. Hurt again. Again.
Yep.
Again. So I think KD's a crumb. So we want to start crumbing guys. We're just going to automatically say this is Harden's fault. It didn't work. I'm going to look at the guy who's ran a lot of places, right? I'm looking at the guy, Kevin Durant, who ran, rightfully so. I mean, who doesn't want to go there and play with those guys?
Well, he just wanted to get the fuck away from Westbrook.
And get away from Westbrook. But let's not act like Kevin Durant's doesn't have a crumb in him a little bit too. I mean, come on. We don't know. Maybe Kevin Durant's the coolest
Harden was the first one to run out of there.
But come on, we can't act like Kyrie doesn't have a little crumb in him. Let's be real here. Let's be real. Great player. To say like the skill set you want in a guard, he's freaking phenomenal. But after Cleveland, and he hasn't been a little bit of a crumb. Forget this year.
I thought you were kidding. Is that a real question?
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah. I'm just asking the people that are fucking blind and stupid. Kyrie's the biggest fucking crumb in the league.
He ruined Boston. Like, he went to Boston. It was a train wreck. The guy's a loser. Listen, he made big shots.
He thinks the earth's flat, dude. I mean, come on. You can't even help this guy.
I know you're a Nets fan.
I know he's a good player. I know he's a good player, but he's a crumb.
I would hate to be a Nets fan, like trashing Harden, and then knowing what I'm getting back in return is my point. Like, I am getting the biggest crumb in a decade. There isn't a bigger crumb in the decade than Ben Simmons. Like, in terms of a guy playing that didn't do something illegal, right? That didn't kill somebody, etc. In terms of playing.
I totally agree. And I tell you what, they better not fucking beat us in the playoffs.
They won't, Will.
Because it'll fucking, it'll be awful. It'll be awful.
Listen,
it'll be awful.
To Tom's point, the only reason that he didn't fucking play as soon as this deal was done is because he knows he's going to get killed for the mental health thing. So he's like, his agent, it's been pulling the strings.
Was AI not on the 75?
His agent was this whole time was like, hey, take a couple weeks here. Take a couple weeks after the All-Star break. I know you're fresh.
No way,
You're fucking fresh. I mean, after the All-Star break, come on back and we'll let it die down a little bit, and we'll tell everybody you've been taking pills and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason he didn't play as soon as the trade wasn't fucking done. He's fucking fine and ready to go.
Oh, yep, absolutely ready to go. Sweeps. His presser was the biggest fuck you.
Oh, no, he's definitely ready to go.
Mental health I've ever witnessed. Now, Philly, I'll tell you this. I've said this a couple times. I'm not Mr. James Harden. I just know what happens when I team up elite guards with the most dominant big man in a decade, essentially, right? Like one of those types of players, right? Like an all-time big man in the decade, right? I know what usually happens there. That's all.
I mean, LeBron and AD won a ring pretty quickly when it happened over there, didn't it?
Yep, that's as far as I'm going to go on this. Like when you have the best big man in basketball, and not only dominant inside, but dominant all over the court, doesn't matter where he's at, and then you team that up with a guard like that can hit shots, that can create looks for him too, easier looks. Now you can't double anybody. You can't double Joel late in games. You can't double Harden late in games. You can't. And you can say, well, blah, blah. No, because you still have Maxey, you have Tobias. You have guys who can score here. I mean, this basketball team is really fucking good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Sixers fan. Shit, let's go, guys. Let's go. All right, Greg, go ahead.
Did AI sell his jacket already, or is he?
No, was he not on it?
Yeah,
first off, I want to say real quick, if he's not on it and Westbrook was on it.
If I didn't want to ask that, Wills, because I will fucking leave and stop talking sports. You understand?
If Westbrook was on it and AI's not on it, there's a problem.
I'm assuming I missed Allen's introduction. That's what I'm assuming right now. Okay?
Yeah, Allen's on it.
I missed his introduction.
He's got to be on it, right?
Number 40.
That's not even close.
Yeah, he's on it.
He's on it. He's on it. Calm down. Calm him down. Somebody calm Sweeps. Tell him he's good. He's good.
He just wanted to show that bling off, Sweeps. He's going to show that bling off.
He just sold it, baby. He needs money a little bit. He sold that shit quick. I mean, he put that on.
I don't think he needs money.
He's got to treat James to some gentlemen's clubs now that he's in town.
I think 40's a little low on what he did for the game of basketball.
Yeah.
That's a story for another day. But the way he changed the game of basketball that nobody ever wants to talk about, the global impact Allen Iverson had on the game of basketball, the entire NBA should be just throwing him money. Like, you know what I mean? It should be like music revenue, right? Like music royalties. Just give the guy money every year. Toss him $2 million.
Reebok's throwing him a plenty.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he's at that age yet. It breaks when he's 50.
He's almost there. He's pretty close, probably.
Listen, Greg, go ahead, but I love Joel Embiid. I love Tyrese Maxey. I think Tobias Harris is in the perfect fit of all time out of this. And I like James Harden enough. Like, I just like the guy who can, we call him, maybe don't call him a killer, then call him one of the great scorers in this generation. Like, getting a guy like that, I just don't think we, I know Greg's going to put his nose up to it. I just don't think we can put our nose up to the kind of impact that we're getting back here.
It was a must move.
Yeah.
For the people are telling me that we shouldn't have made the trade, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It was a guy that was never going to play here again. We basically got James Harden for fucking the draft pick and fucking shitbag Andre Drummond, who stinks, and fucking Seth Curry, who I like. But, I mean, come on.
Listen, Seth would have been great as the fifth option here, right? I mean, listen, all things being equal, I would love to hold on to him and him being the fifth option.
I assume they were like, listen, if you're not getting us Curry, we want Maxey. And we were like, all right.
We're like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So like,
Maxey or Matisse.
I'm like okay with Danny in like late games being my fifth guy.
And honestly, with the scoring we have now, Matisse is much more valuable in the playoffs than he is in the regular season. Because you need that wing defender in the playoffs much more.
Him and Danny are going to switch a lot.
They did what they had to do, and like I said, we're excited. We can't wait to see it. They did what they had to do. Now it's time for Toby's got to step up. I mean, they all got to step up. A lot of the guys are young guys. We get that, you know what I mean. But it's time. You're playing with the MVP in the league. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the vote says. You know what I mean? Like when it's all said and done, you can vote any way you want. I'm just going to tell you that he's MVP, and I'm going to keep that. I'm probably going to get a T-shirt made, all right, for the end of the year, because when he doesn't get it, it's going to be a fucking travesty. And he probably won't.
You going to ship it out?
He's like the third. He's like still the third choice.
He's going to get it.
The people that are watching, he's still the third choice. It's crazy to me.
No, you're right, Sweet. People still undervalue this guy. People still don't give him the love nationally that he deserves.
Factor, you know what I mean?
I never witnessed the national media saying that you need to get Embiid a star next to him more than I witnessed over the last 3 months, okay, then they do it. They do it, and then everybody in national media wants to tell you it's a bad trade. What? Like, there was conversations of Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons for Halliburton, Hield, and Barnes. Are we okay? Are we okay? You got out of this? You got James goddamn Harden for essentially Ben Simmons? Like, essentially, you got him for Ben Simmons. Like, the other guys are not washes because they're good role players, but they're washes. They're washes in a
You didn't even get him for Ben Simmons because he wasn't going to play here ever.
Okay, so you got him for Seth Curry, right? You literally got James Harden for Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. Like, come on, people. I mean,
JoJo.
Like,
on cue hits a three.
Like, you just never gonna. There isn't the guy out there besides him that was available that is the perfect match. You know what I mean? Like,
sorry,
I hope he shoots it again. Shoot again, Joe.
22 in an All-Star game. Like, and you say to yourself, nobody plays defense. I understand that, right? But I mean, like, 20 is still a lot of fucking points. I mean, Joe's
somebody step in the lane one time.
Joe's I don't give a shit where.
And I said the other night, I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Well, it's the Elam ending, though, right? They do the Elam ending now.
Yeah, they keep
like the thing they do for the TV team where they pick a fucking
they keep starting every quarter over at 0.
Yeah, and
but at the end of it, see how it says total scores up top. They're gonna the fourth quarter. They're gonna pick probably like 200, and then the first team to 200, first team to get there will win. It's like the TBT tournament. If you ever watch it, the
I know how it works.
It's pretty cool. Actually, it's going to make the fourth quarter enjoyable because they'll probably start actually playing basketball.
Whoever wins each quarter gets $100K.
I was going to say, I was wondering why they were clearing the quarters.
Yeah, the quarters for the $100K for different colleges or some shit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I just think always All-Star games. I want to play a little bit of palms. Like, I'm just not going to give guys open dunks, but it's just listen.
Like
no, they give open dunks for 3 quarters, and then the fourth quarter they start playing now with the Elam ending.
Yeah,
I told you the way you do it is you just make it like, all right, well, the winning team gets an extra $1 million, and then it's like, all right, I guess we're gonna start playing then.
Yep,
it's the easiest way to do it. I mean, I don't know why they don't do that.
But I just again, I don't know who the right guy out there.
Terry can really shoot though. Huh?
Like people could have told me Bradley Beal, and listen, maybe, but Bradley Beal has like been in a place that's been blah for years, and sometimes that stench wears off on guys, right? Where at least Harden was like competing in Western Conference Finals, like you know what I mean. At least he's like
Bradley Beal's hurt, like legit hurt.
Yeah,
surgery hurt.
And he's been hurt the last 2 years now. So now his injury concerns line up, get a little bit scary. Same with James. Like, he had the hammy issue. But, like, I don't know. I just don't know if there's a better – on what was available, there wasn't a better fit or player available. There just wasn't. Greg?
Yeah, I'll disagree to the poll.
I know you will.
I can't buy in and won't buy into James Harden.
Why?
It's simple as that. I wish it'd be different because I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's that good.
I mean, he is pretty good. Correct?
Why though? Like, I don't understand.
I hate James Harden. I'll admit he's pretty good.
You're using agenda. You're using
half of his brilliance is an illegal move in the NBA.
Okay,
so
now we're doing that.
It's a walk. I mean, it's
the walk. Here he goes again, guys.
It is.
For people that don't know, the other night he got caught up on the walk the other night as well with spelling bee.
Absolutely. I don't
Greg,
believe him. I don't believe.
Oh my God,
he's not very good in the play. He's not, his playoff numbers have gone down, and I just don't believe that he is has any substance to him to team with Joel. And I hope I'm wrong. I've been wrong a lot, so it's nothing new. Because I hate wasting what we're seeing in Joel. But I don't think it's going to be him.
Terry, 12-3.
Terry is on fire right now.
12-3.
Fire.
Pretty good.
12.
I think he'll make it.
Yeah, I think he's going to make it.
And Wiggins, stop shooting. Okay. Greg,
what'd you bet? Team Durant?
No. I just stuck on Greg and.
Oh my God, he's not even hitting rim, dude. He's not even hitting rim, dude. Iverson's going crazy.
They're laughing. 13 triple.
What would be a better fit, Greg? That was available.
There might not have been.
Then what would you have done? What would you have done?
I would have kept it.
You would have kept it.
You had to trade him.
I would have kept it.
Why?
Huh?
Why? How would you have kept it? Wait, why would you?
We're just going to leave this crowd overhead?
You would wait the offseason for what?
I mean, you build your bed.
So you ruin the rest of the year.
You built his bed. So I would have waited to the offseason and then got rid of him.
But you have the guy playing the best basketball of his life, and you're just going to be like, all right, we're not going to win.
That's the bet Daryl Morey made when he didn't trade him right away.
That's not the bet he made because he got the best. He got the best potential player that he could have probably got for him.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe the guy wasn't playing. Like, you know what I mean? You got to get other organizations to buy into him playing, Greg. Come on. I mean, you're shitting on you're listen. I know the top 75 can be a little overrated, but you're literally shitting on a freaking. I mean, where's he ranking scoring all time? I mean, you're shitting on a guy that's a prolific scorer in this league. I just don't know how you do it. I don't know because you don't like somebody.
He just turned around and ran back before
he's not Steph Curry, but this guy's pretty good.
I mean, if Steph Curry was available, sign me up.
I don't think he's that good. Then that's just my opinion. I just don't think he's that good.
Don't think he's that good. Like you could make that case for
the NBA is trash right now.
Oh, what that thing?
To be a scorer in the NBA means nothing.
He's been scoring for a while.
He still is good though, Greg. He is a good player.
For a while.
He can shoot. Okay, he can shoot.
He's been scoring for a while. He can't dribble, Greg.
I think he can get. Listen, he's a guy that's a playmaker.
He can get his own bucket.
He's a guy that's a playmaker that gets to the line a ton. Yeah, you're gonna make me defend. But
here's the other thing too. We all talk about him and Joel, and I mentioned this on Sunday or on Wednesday. James Harden's never played with a pick and pop type of guy. He's always played with a pick and roll guy and a lob guy. All of his centers have never been, to Joel's credit, have never been as dominant and as skilled as Joel. Joel Embiid very rarely dives to the basket. Every one of James Harden's centers,
he should get him a lot more easy buckets diving to the basket though. Which is good.
Joel doesn't do it. Is my point.
But he could.
Joel doesn't do
it. Hold on.
Joel's not a pick and roll guy.
You think he can't go to the basket?
Hold on.
He just doesn't do it.
Joel's a picking everything guy. Would you?
I don't disagree.
You stop it with it.
You sound like you're disagreeing.
Joel Embiid can do whatever he wants. But
you're limiting it because he doesn't do it a lot right now.
It does not happen. Joel Embiid does not pick and roll. He picks and pops.
Well,
what
maybe
difference
because we don't have a
difference
point guard that we run it well with.
So we all sit here saying we've never seen it, and you're right. We've never seen James Harden in a pick and pop with a big man with a pick and pop. Maybe it doesn't matter. But all of his big men haven't been as skilled as Joel, so they've been more pick and roll and pick and lob guys, which makes James.
You got any more rocks to lift up, searching for things over there? I mean, this is unbelievable. No, you absolutely are. You are trying to find a way.
Yeah, I hate the guy. Newsflash, I hate the guy.
Okay. But
also not a fan of the guy, but it was a good move.
Who's better, Greg? Ben Simmons or James Harden?
I'll take Ben Simmons.
Jesus fucking Christ. I can't. This is what I can't do tonight. Listen, love you to death. This is the most outlandish comment of all time in the history of A2D. You're talking about a guy who literally quit. Just took his
James Harden's done it twice.
Like that?
I mean, he has done it twice.
Like that? No.
I'm not to the point of not playing, but he still was playing. He has gotten out of spots.
He was creative, Greg. He was creative. He was wearing a fat suit. He didn't quit on the best player in the league. He didn't quit on a top 5 player in the league at the time. Because that's what he quit on, arguably top 10 then if you think he had a down year, okay? But that's what this dude quit on. So I don't want to hear about quitting. James Harden was creative. He wore a fat suit, all right? He worked his way out of things, all right, that weren't going in the direction of winning anymore, all right? And a lot of guys do that. That doesn't make them not a great basketball player. Yeah. A lot of guys do it. What this guy did was the worst thing I've ever witnessed in professional sports. Actually, sports all around. Never seen anything like it. Never witnessed a guy lie about mental illness to get his way out of somewhere. It's the biggest crock of shit in the world. And you would rather keep that guy?
Well, I mean, even if you're talking, even if you're talking straight back, like even when you're talking about without that baggage, it's not, to me, it's not even fucking close. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the one guy, doesn't play any defense. Let's just take that all, just take that out of consideration. He did quit. He's up 2-1 quitting on teams. So he is up 2-1 on Simmons. But as far as being a better player, it's not even close. I mean, come on. I mean, the one guy's, I don't know.
One guy's a top
I'm
75.
not a Harden guy either. And I'm not a huge
Top
Harden
75 player of all time, though. I mean, your point sweeps like it's not like I'm not a Harden guy either. But the facts are the facts. He's better than Ben Simmons. Like he just is.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Like I'm tired of Pomsy talk too. I don't give a fuck if I got the greatest defenders of all time out on there. I'm over talking Poms. I got the best shot blocker and the best defensive big man in basketball. I'll worry about the rest. Like, I just will. I can't. We had all these teams that I was running around here. You guys saw me. My palms couldn't get any more up than they were, right? And it did us nothing because we had nobody who could take, besides our big man, that could take over a game in the fourth quarter. Nobody. Guess what we just got? Like it or not. Has he failed at times? Of course. Fine. But there's a lot of times he's been successful too. And you're going to hold that 3-1 loss to him when Paul got hurt. Fine. Against the greatest team ever, against the greatest shooters ever assembled. I'm not telling you shouldn't steal one, but come on.
Well, I mean, but that's the heart and soul of your team that gets hurt there.
Come on. We know the impact of Chris Paul. Jesus, God.
I mean, Chris Paul is still a phenomenal player. If Chris Paul got hurt today, Phoenix Suns, thank God for them, he'll probably be back for the playoffs, but if he misses the playoffs, they won't win.
He is hurt.
Yeah, they broke his hand, right?
8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's a lot of ways.
I'm saying he'll be back for the playoffs, but if he don't play in the playoffs, the Suns won't win because Chris Paul is that important.
Yeah, that good, Wills.
Is that good? That damn good, and he plays phenomenal defense, which James Harden doesn't play in defense, that's for sure. But James Harden shouldn't have to play a lot of defense for us.
I'm not over worried about him. I'm not worried about him getting palms. I give a rat's ass. Dan says, everyone understand Harden wanted to be with more the entire time. Like, yeah, he worked his way to where he wanted to be. True. And there's two sides to look at that, Dan. Hey, I want to be with Daryl because I know I want to be with Michael Rubin. I want to be with guys that maybe I know I can get away with some things that I like to do during the season. So there's two ways to look at that one, right? But I will say that this is where the guy wanted to be with Daryl Morey, and he wanted to be with Rubin, and he wanted to play with Joel Embiid. And how can anybody hate on that? Like, at least the guy wants to play. He wants to be here. The other guy didn't want to be here. He want to be here. And we got people out there like Greg.
That's number one. I'll always say I'm right with you on that. I don't like James Harden. I hope he proves me wrong. I just think it's not that I don't like him. Personally, I just think he's a fucking loser. That's all.
All right. Yeah. And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
Listen, they must.
I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he does.
I'm assuming
I've been right so far.
I'm assuming that they think this is going to put us over the edge because if not, why wouldn't you have waited to the offseason? You'd have came here for free, and then you could have got not for free. You know what I mean? But well, there was all kind of cat. Well, I mean, you still had to free up a lot of money, right? I think.
You still would have had to trade him.
You almost had to do it now, in a way, because you probably would have gave up more after the year. Because you wouldn't have Drummond, so then they're going to want something else, right? So there's some factors into that. I mean, the time, not that you're saying this isn't, the time to sell was obviously right now. Get it over with, right? Maybe there's some value at the end of the year. I don't have to really look at it, but then I feel like we're giving up like Matisse, or we're giving up somebody we don't want to give up. So listen, we're getting. I'm not crowning Shake, but we're getting Shake back. I feel like they feel a little bit better about their bench, right? And I think that and we all know this, they're going to go out and they're going to get a buyout or two, and they're gonna upgrade this bench a little bit. And they don't need the greatest bench of all time. They just need some veterans out there that can give you productive minutes because the starters are going to play a ton come postseason time. So I don't. Is there always we can make a trade? Is there a guarantee that you get Broad Street out of any deal you do? No. But in my time of watching the Sixers and watching them try to pair stars up with other stars, this is the biggest home run of my time watching the Sixers. So that doesn't count Moses and Doc, right? No. So this is my biggest home run hit that they've done. It was Jimmy Butler. Like, it was Jimmy because they never did anything for Allen, right? It was always like guys at the end.
I don't know. Dikembe worked. We got to the finals.
True.
Ran into a phenomenal fucking Lakers team.
You guys know all that money stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you were let's say
Dikembe was a good move, though. I'll say that.
Besides, reacting in the moment, which like I said, we were all up for that. You know what I mean? Like the black cloud, get him out of here. Like, But to Greg's idea, and I even thought the same thing. I love the fact that he was getting fined, and I wanted him out of here too. I'm just saying, part of me was giggled every time. I wanted him to go fucking broke because I fucking hate him so fucking much. You know what I mean? I didn't give a rat's ass, right? But if you're just, let me think. Let me ask you guys about a deep dive because like Greg might know and Tommy might know and Will still about the money issues. You know what I mean? Like I know we didn't want to trade Ben and Harris for a guy like Halbert. I'm just saying. But if we knew deep down that once we freed that up, that in the offseason we were going to be able to get Harden. You know what I mean? Would he be able to opt out? Was because he wanted to opt. He was opting out anyway, right?
Yeah, but I think this is why there's going to be some. Greg, sorry, then go because I have something. The Zach Lowe article that came out, I think, really points to this and why he didn't opt in and why they do this deal now. Because there's rumors out there that Harden's going to take less money for 2 years to try to then bring another, maybe aging guy, but another star type player here too. So there's some conversations that have been like hinted.
Yeah, it's Kawhi, dude.
That Daryl.
That's what they're talking about.
That Daryl and Harden has been talking about this for a while. That's why he didn't opt in. Like, it's crazy, dude. There might be a lot of tamper talk here, and I love it. Hopefully we don't get caught with anything, but like, fuck you, LeBron. We tamper. This is how we tamper.
Yeah, first off, Clutch Sports been tampering for fucking years. I don't want to hear that shit. They're trying to set all kinds of shit up over there.
My question was like, could you get Toby's money off the books? You know what I mean? If you did that trade, even though in the moment you're like, wow, what are we doing? Giving up Toby and Ben for these young guys? You know what I mean? But just knowing that maybe, that the beard was coming,
Well, that's where what Tommy's talking about. That's where kind of Toby's money comes into play, is potentially for that other player or that other star, however it happens. If we would have traded Ben and Toby just for, your example you gave us for that Kings, we would have been screwed in the offseason because we would have had a sum of 2 max players money, but we wouldn't have actually had the max contracts under our belts. So we wouldn't have been able to
them here already.
Right. We wouldn't have been able to do anything with them.
You can only have 2 max guys if you go out and sign, right? If you don't have any, right? If you have them in house, you can have 3 max guys, right, Greg?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
So
that's why.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why trading.
Yeah, they try to make it so you stay on their own team, but now everyone just keeps switching teams.
That's
like
why
fucking crazy.
Trading for James was so big now. Because that way you still have, if you're going to trade and use Toby's contract as that other, that placeholder for that other max deal, that's the one you do in the offseason.
Yep. And like I said, the reports is, obviously Harden wants to win, and he's willing to hit him over the head years 3 and 4, and with money, and not hit him over the head years. I say not counting this year, years 1 and 2, right? So he's almost talking about saying instead of taking max money early, he'll take like $24 million a year, right? Which is a lot of money still. And then years 3 and 4 is where they're gonna, here you go, baby. At the end of your stuff, you're gonna be getting like 50, right? That's sort of like the conversation, which then opens up another roster spot, not for a max guy, but opens up another roster spot for, let's say, $18 million, which is a lot of money. And then you might get a guy who's just trying to win and says, oh, you know what, I'm going to go there. And you can sort of pull that off. So, and that's what I maybe even traded Toby, right, Greg? And then if you trade Toby, then obviously you would open it up. But then the problem is you can't, unless Harden doesn't take the max, then you can open, like I'm talking about, then you can have, okay, I can have 2 maxes, blah, 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 and then you go from there because then you have Harden and you can max him.
Yeah, let's see if he wants to be, Tom Brady-esque. You know what I mean? You want your championship, then you might have to give up some money. You know what I mean?
Honestly, like if that's like a whole thing that's actually happening of getting Kawhi, I mean, sign me up. I love me some Kawhi Leonard. Always have. You can even ask Tommy. We used to. No, I won't bring it up, Tommy. We know how you used to feel about Kawhi. Remember that sweeps? I don't think he's top 15. Top 15? Me and Sweeps like, I think he might be top 5.
It was
love me some Kawhi.
Long time ago, but thanks.
It was a while ago.
Thanks. I mean, he's still a young whippersnapper. Definitely was legit.
He's also had some injuries now too, but I love me some Kawhi.
Listen,
is he up for the whole year?
I mean, I don't know. When the fuck is he coming back?
He
tore his ACL like a while ago, right?
No, he didn't play all year.
He tore it like last summer, though, right?
Or best move
June.
win.
All right, so obviously, once again, talking about like that's where I get. Sometimes I get lost in all the money talk and all the payroll stuff and all the all that stuff. I kind of just zone out because it just fucking drives me crazy. You know what I mean? So really, there was really had no choice. You know what I'm saying, Greg? I mean, like, as much as you hate him, I think even you said this. It had to do it, had to get done.
Yeah, well, Greg didn't necessarily say it had to get done because he would have just waited. But
no, I mean, that's what I'm saying to him now, though. I mean, I know he didn't.
He's wrong on all ends. Sweet.
Let's say now he's got to think back and like say that. Yeah, it definitely had to get done.
Yeah, well, he's just wrong on all ends. That's all. So he's just there hasn't been anything he said essentially right. I get it, 8. I understand it. Like I've been critical of James in the past, but what's he missing in his career per se? Right? He's missing that final little touch. Right, and I gotta hope and pray as a Sixers fan that's what he really wants, right, guys? So I'm holding. It's a hope thing more than a no thing. So I'm hoping that this guy just wants to win and he wants to buy in and he wants to be a team player, right? Like that's what I'm hoping, right? And maybe that comes and bites us right in the face, smacks right in the face. But I'll tell you, the other guy was smacking us in the face a complete other way. So I'm totally good with it. I don't know how. You can't be good with it. It's win now mode. We've been talking about this. I mean, Joel Embiid is in his prime years at 27 years old. That's when guys sort of start to win in this league. I mean, I know Giannis would have been around in the league forever, even though he's still young. But you guys know what I mean. Like we talked about this in years past. Like 25-year-olds really don't win in this league. You know what I mean? Like he needs to.
Like I said, I can understand it. I can understand it before last year. You know what I mean? Like when he was on his way out of Houston, and there was the talks of Simmons for Harden and stuff, and everyone like Wilson, Greg wanted no parts of that, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? This was before the demise. You know what I mean? Till we really seen him for what he is. You know what I mean? So I get that, but now once all that unfolded. And then even worse, then you add, I'm not playing, I'm taking my ball and leaving, you offended me and my pussy hurts, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like that, and then it became a no-brainer, even for a guy like Wills, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm just wondering why Greg never came over.
Not giving up to hate.
Greg doesn't care.
Greg, I do not like it still, but he is on our team now, and I want us to win, so.
Yeah, you're going to like him in 2 weeks, Greg, so.
I don't know. I won't watch, so it's fine.
What? You won't watch?
No, I'm not going to watch. He's on our team. I'm not watching.
What is that even? Wow. Okay. That's the most ridiculous.
That's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, you're just a problem.
Just grow up then.
Yeah, you're not going to watch them?
So when they get to the playoffs, you're not going to watch?
No.
So you're done watching the Sixers?
Yeah.
So they have to
so there's no reason for you to be on our show anymore. Is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm having camera issues, so I'm not actually really there anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, we can hear you though. We can just mute you now.
That's the problem.
That's what you're saying.
The problem is you're not going to watch arguably one of the better players in our time of watching the Sixers. You're not going to watch him. Okay, because of one guy that you have this unnecessary hatred for. Like you can dislike a guy's game, you can dislike some things, but you can't run from the facts of the matter. And the facts of the matter is, if you look up the numbers too, James Harden cooks Ben Simmons when he guards him. That's just the numbers. So, I mean, I'm not telling you. That's just what I've seen, and that's the facts of the matter. So right there's a win. So I don't care everybody telling me, well, Ben's going to cover him in the playoff. Okay. I'm not worried about who Ben's covering. So, at the end
I don't give a fuck who covers who. I'm just saying we better not lose to them. That's all I'm saying. Or else this trade don't look that good.
We're never going to lose a postseason.
I hope to God we don't.
To them. We're just not.
Hope to God we don't.
We're just not.
Hope we don't.
We're not. We are not. I can't even have that conversation.
I'm with you.
That means there's no God. We can just shut it down. Just shut her down. Shut the world down. You know what I mean? Shut the globe down.
I mean, we've been kind of shut down for like 2. Hoping we're just about to open back up. But yeah, no God. I would agree with the no God comment.
Yeah, if they beat us in the postseason, there's no God, especially no sports God. I mean, we'll just stay with sports gods. That God doesn't exist if that happens. They're not going to beat us in the postseason. He's not going to win there. They still got to play 4-on-5 offensively. He's going to become a black hole, just like he was here late in games. And I don't know at this point, like I was the guy holding out hope last year of like not dealing them because of what the position we were in, and we were playing really good basketball. And there were some times he showed a little bit of growth, and we held on to stuff that's never going to happen. You know, you never even going there. People are like, "Oh, now he's going to play with KD and he's going to shoot." Okay, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut up. shut.
I mean, listen, we've already had this conversation. If he starts shooting, we have to kill him.
Yeah,
there's no other way around it. He's got to be killed.
The NBA doesn't make enough money, so now the quarter was tied and they both get 50. Like, throw in another 100. I mean, I just want to fucking take people that have more money than they can fucking print.
They don't have as much as they used to because after China made him their daddy. China said, "We cut you off." Oh, so funny. But yeah, I think I mean, listen, I hope they win it all. I think it's a move that had to be made, and I don't even like James Harden. You know this, but I think it's a move that had to be made.
You think they win it all?
I don't. But I think they have a really good chance to over the next like 3 years.
Yep,
I think they do.
And you know what's funny about his game though?
I just think he's a fucking loser. I hope he proves me wrong. He's been a loser ever since that his Arizona State team was supposed to beat Syracuse in the fucking tournament, and he laid a fucking egg and we shit on him. He's been a loser since then.
6-11 game.
A long time ago.
Yeah, you the hate goes back. It's truly amazing. Like, and I'm a guy that's not like. I've been clear on this on shows. I don't know if I've ever been Mr. Harden, but my goodness gracious, you know, I did it.
Well, Greg's out of his mind. He's off the reservation.
Listen, when you do a deal
I think he needs to be suspended.
Well, I mean, rightfully so. But you know, I think when you do something like this, I just don't know how. I just put my like agendas and some of my stuff behind me.
And that's what I'm going to tell you 100%, buddy.
I'm trying to. I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Will, so you got show criteria going up for the duration of the suspension?
Greg, I told you, I shoot from the hip. Just let me know what we're talking about. I'm good to talk. I don't need criteria.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm suspended, you doing show criteria?
Well, when you
we'll pay somebody else to do it.
When you understand anything about social media, you better care a little bit about criteria. But I hear you. I'm gonna shoot. Yeah, don't start noting on here, Wells, because that's mine. So you know,
I don't use that.
I've never. Yeah, I'm just making it clear. I mean, you know,
listen, I'm just hoping that he fucking stays in line. You know what I mean? Because basketball.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
Basketball wise, we know it's there. You know what I mean? Like. Contrary to what some people believe, and that's okay. Like you said, it's it's the way Greg feels, and it's the way other people feel. That's okay. You know what I mean? Basketball wise, you know what he can do on the court. You know what I mean? But what he does to teams, let's hope that doesn't happen here. Like I don't know if Doc has enough stronghold on the locker room. I know obviously Joe. Doesn't put up with that shit, but let's see. You know what I mean? Let's just hope that, because even more comfortable now that he's back with Daryl. I don't know if he always, you know what I mean? Because I hear things like, hey, when you play out in Utah, right? He gets on a private jet and he goes to fucking Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, see you guys whenever. You know what I mean? Like, so that kind of stuff can't happen for me. You know, you want to go fun. You're an adult. You want to go have fun. That's fine. But like, it's got to be. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that's true. I've heard it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, it's, like,
I mean, if we won 10 in a row, maybe I'll let you go to Vegas.
I'm saying if we're playing,
if we just lost that Utah, you better get on the fucking team plane.
When Dan brought it earlier that he wanted to play with Morey, when I say the other way I look at that is he came here because of Ruben and Morey, and then he felt like he could do some of the things he likes to do on certain trips. And guess what? Like Will said, if you're winning basketball games, hey, enjoy Vegas. I'll see you wherever our next stop is.
Don't get too fucked up.
I don't give a fuck, right? I'll make it happen.
Drive. Don't make a bad decision.
If you're losing a basketball game and a guy wants to fly out to Vegas from Utah, hey, buddy, gonna need you not do that.
But I agree with you. That's why
accountability.
That's why he's a perennial loser. So let's see if you can change his spots. I'm with you.
Hey, and that's not wrong. Don't do it, brother.
Don't do it. But you're a fucking loser. Okay? Yep. So let me see it. Do whatever you fucking want. And that's not a shot at you. That's me. I'm getting a little fired up because go do it then. Go do it. Then you can do whatever you want. Babe Ruth stayed out all fucking night. Right? Mickey Mantle, all fucking night. Fucking 10 fucking cigars, fucking whiskey, and hit 4 homers the next day. Get her done. That's it. All right?
Yeah, and guess what? In terms of his scoring production, with doing all the extra, he's essentially got it done, but never got it done.
Never the joke. You know that. Right?
Yeah, never's closed the deal. He's never closed the deal, right? And that's what's missing from James Harden's career. Is close the deal. Now you hope and you pray as Sixers fans that playing with the best player on the planet, right, helps you close the deal. Your skill set gets showed more, right? So hey, you can go get a fucking rub and tug and a great lap dance somewhere, but you're dropping 30 the next night. Listen, AI did it all the time. But he brought it, right? To your point, Sleeps, he brought it. And James, credit to his career with his extras.
He's hit everything.
He's brought it, but he almost reminds me a little bit of AI to a point, right? Like he's gonna have his fun. He's gonna do he enjoys his clubs, right? To your point, you're 100% right. Do you, boo-boo, but you better be dropping me 30 and coming to play every night. And then do what you want to do. But if not, if there's games you're coming up with 15 and then reports come out that, hey, you had a great night last night, then I start having major issues and you're going to hear from me. Like I'll be the first guy that James Harden's going to hear from in this city if it doesn't go well. All my whole conversation since we traded for him is I'm going to try to talk positive things into existence so we actually can win something because us four Sixers fans have never witnessed a parade, right? We've got one for the Eagles. We got one for the Phillies. We have never gotten one for the Sixers, and we can all say the Sixers are in our top 3, the NBA is, in terms of sports we watch, right? Maybe not Greg, but everybody else. Like, especially come postseason time or when our team's playing, right? Mm-hmm. When our team's playing, we watch more Sixers than Flyers, right? So that's just who we are. It's we talk about color, talk about stripes. That's in our stripes. So we need this is a city that always talks negative, and I'm part of it. But like I'm trying to start saying, you know what, this is going to work because of what we have around him too. And if he doesn't live up to being a great, right? I believe. Guess who else? I believe in Maxey. So there's almost fallback plans, right? On we're watching 2 guys on this team just get better, and that's Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey's got better in 1 year than Ben Simmons did his entire career. So right now, Tyrese Maxey's a better player than Ben Simmons is. And I don't care. People can argue with me. I don't care. This is why I said before the season that this was a better basketball team come postseason without James, right? The way they were constructed, because they weren't going to have to play 4-on-5 offensively. They were going to have a point guard that actually can create and make plays. So they were going to be better. How much better? Probably still a second-round exit, but they were going to look better. All right? Now you had this. We know we talk about March Madness, right? Love March Madness. Coming around, boys. Can't wait, right? It's guard play.
Can't wait.
Guard play city, right? Now, I got 2 guards who can take anybody in the league off a dribble, and I got the best big man on the planet. Fuck me. I'm coming to eat. James Harden's in a great situation, and I feel like when you put guys in situations that I think there's a lot of accountability here, hence why one guy ran. One guy ran because there was too much accountability. We talked about it with Brett Brown. Brett Brown let the guy sit on his lap after every game. Like, come sit with daddy. Well, I'll settle you down because you didn't put up Ben numbers to make yourself look good, right? It was a fucking sham. He babied him, right? And we begged for accountability. And we got 2 guys, actually 3, in Doc Rivers, Sam Cassell, and Daryl Morey that brought weight with them, right? That brought at least a history of saying, you better listen to this guy, right? Right. So respected around the league. Right, former players, guys are going to hold guys. They're going to hold guys accountable. So the first time they hold a guy accountable here, he runs. So I believe, to go off of my point and to finish up here, is that we have that accountability in house that this is going to work, and I'm going to believe that because we ran a guy out because we questioned him so much and held him accountable.
He hit that one. I believe it.
He never wanted to get better at. Not only just the coaches. Danny Green used to hit him with shoot the basketball. Dwight Howard used to hit him with shoot the basketball. Joel Embiid used to hit him with shoot the basketball. The whole team started doing it. They never did that before. That's why Jimmy laughed. Jimmy laughed. This is all facts. Jimmy laughed because this guy was never going to get better. So if Jimmy sees that, I see it because I'm a Jimmy dog, too. I'm right with you, Jimmy. I don't want you to beat us in Miami, but I'm right with you, and I wish you luck since he left. When we're out of it, I'm rooting for Jimmy because I like him, because he's an accountable cat, right? That's what we dealt with for years, and we finally have guys in place for the first time that are accountable guys, that you're not going to get away with bullshit. Hey, we won 10 in a row. You want to hit the Vegas for a minute? We'll see you. We'll see you on our next game out. Let's fucking go. Let's go. You guys got me fired up. I just want to win. I want to win so fucking bad.
I just want to play. I just want him to play hard. I want him to play hard. That's all. You know what I mean? Because I look at a guy like, we talked about earlier, when I almost came out of my skin when I didn't think I didn't think they gave him a fucking jacket. Could you imagine fucking Allen with Embiid? Ah! Fuck me, bro.
Yo, sweet. Allen versus Embiid
out of here.
And Shaq and Kobe would have been like must-watch, maybe the most-watched finals of all time. Like, if you could do that, if you could go back and say, hey, I'm going to put Embiid on that team with AI, what a series that is. A series that is. We might beat him.
Poor Allen did it. Poor Allen did it with nobody. You know what I mean? I love you. Come on. Poor Allen fucking put his fucking guts out, all right?
Eric Snow was gritty.
Yes.
Eric Snow was gritty. We had a bunch of gritty guys.
Yeah, we had a Ponzi group that Kobe and Shaq went off for 40 a night on.
Tyrone Hill was gritty. Fucking who else? They were all gritty. Just a bunch of gritty guys.
George Lynch,
gritty guy.
Oh yeah, we had a bunch of guys who get stops and not enough guys who get baskets. Right, and we had one guy who could get a basket.
Dikembe was a good move though. Got them to the final.
No, of course. Like, I think Theo might still get him to the finals because he was playing at a high level. They were first.
I just feel like he might not have. But you're right. I like Theo. I was a Theo guy.
He's not Dikembe.
163. No. Wilson. They got 163 as a winner tonight.
Okay, they probably added it.
Yeah, see, it's the Elam ending. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably added it once they see the score, just to get to a number they can get to. But no, guys, that's all I'm saying. You guys know this. I'm not Uncle Jamie. I don't go running and telling you that I had to have him last year, right? But the second that this went sour and that was a name that kept circulating, I just said, you know what? Let me see it because of the history of this game. Let me see it. And if it doesn't work, I went out fighting. Right? If it doesn't work, I went out throwing a major swing at it. And that's all you ask for as a fan. Take a cut. Don't go up there and look at 3 straight fucking strikes. Get up there and give yourself an opportunity.
And listen,
oh, my God. I hear you. I hear you on that.
First of all,
take a swing.
If it doesn't, I'm going to fucking Mark Malone his ass or Mike Malone his ass. I'm going to call him Jimmy Harden. His old for the rest of his fucking existence.
That's and you know what, dude? It's fucking
Jimmy Harden.
It's so funny. I'm not gonna say the kid's name, but I feel kind of bad. But there's a kid on All-One Baseball my brother played. I used to go watch a lot of the games. Oh God, that just didn't play ever. And they finally got in last game of the year. They put him in, and it's his fucking parents used to complain that they never played. He got in, dude. And I'm like, I'm happy for the kid. Dude, he gets out the bat, 3 cock shots right down the middle. Never took the bat off his shoulder. Dude, you never play. Why are you not swinging?
Well, remember when Nails
was blown away. Well, that's why you don't play. But why aren't you swinging?
We're talking about. Remember when Nails wasn't playing and then got in the bat? You know what I mean? Go up there looking for Hunt.
You need to be up there swinging.
Speaking of,
never came back out after that at bat. Fucking 380.
Oh, shit.
I had numbers every year.
Speaking of lifetime and green waivers, March 18th, beef and beer. All right, so Will's going to need you to take off.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get off. I already saw it. Giuliano brothers, right? Yeah.
Giuliano. Great. Yeah.
Okay, so listen, we're all excited. We're going to continue to talk Sixers throughout the coming weeks and months. So make sure you guys are hitting the like and subscribe and staying with us. All right. Every Sunday we're brought to you by our doc. Make him yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web.
That hour show went well, huh?
Yeah, Specialized Physical Therapy.com. We're going to do our Crumb of the Week and get into that. And that is brought to you by our friends over at FanUp. And FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily NBA contest. Daily.
Oh, you made that.
Tons of interactive daily stuff. It really is a great app for your fantasy life. And for people that really love to dabble in fantasy. And you can win great prizes as well. Money. Sign up today. Use our promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. So we got you covered on your fantasy app, okay? Got you covered. No salary caps. It's so much fun. I was able to do one tonight. Actually, I did 4 of them. I did 4 of them tonight for this one, just to have some funsies with it. Don't know where I stand.
Hope we got Steph Curry.
Hopefully, we can see. We also
shit.
It's new to the A2D family is BetUS. And BetUS is the leading online sports book who has been in the market for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. And our link is right pinned during our comment section over on YouTube, and it's in our description on Facebook. And you can find it on our social platforms because we're always posting about it. So you'll be able to find that link anywhere. But use our link to help us and helps you because you get 125% sign-up bonus. All right? BetUS, our link pinned in the comments. All right, and then you're getting picks from Nate Moss, and then Willie Vegas helps you with your fan-up picks. Right? It's a win-win for the family. We got you covered on all goddamn angles. So not only are you getting your bonuses and free money to go play around with.
I'm starting to pivot to NBA, too. Been getting my NBA licks in. Going to have some picks on this weekend for guys.
Pivot talk. All right.
Pivoting.
Because I know who mine is.
I tried NHL, and it's fucking really tough. I'm not good at that one yet.
It's going to be Major League Baseball. All right, now we're at the point where this is now comical to me. This is an entire.
Now we're starting to what? We've canceled the first 2 weeks of spring training, right?
Yep. This is the biggest Mickey Mouse run league in sports, right? I mean, you talk about a sport that started to do a good job in marketing their players, started to really show the faces of their game. Finally started.
Oh, he hit that.
The face.
Oh my God, for the win. Sorry, Tom. Of course, it had to be him.
You knew he was shooting it.
Yeah.
In Cleveland.
Yeah.
I do like how they do the Elam ending now, though. It makes it funner.
Yeah, they were guarding him. That was a tough shot.
Yeah, the fucking at the end there, they're doubling Curry every time he got the ball.
Greg doesn't like him either, but pretty good.
Who, Steph?
No, LeBron.
Oh yeah, he's not bad. I think he's gonna make it.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
There's Melo.
I'm sure he's hanging.
Melo, I don't know about that haircut.
Yeah, I don't know about those glasses either.
Go back to them old. I want the old Rose from.
Good for him though in Cleveland though. Good for him.
That's a big shot.
Who cares? Too. But use our promo.
First one he said.
Right in our description, and pinned to our comments over on YouTube for 125% sign up bonus. Go win some money, family. Crumb, like I said, was Major League Baseball, and you can just look at the fact that they started to market their players. You thought they were going in the right direction. You know, they were doing different things that maybe was putting the game back in a good direction. And then this comes up, right? And the fact that you have time to get a deal done. You're taking 15 minutes in meetings. Like I've taken shits longer than 15 minutes. I mean, this is an absolute fucking joke, right? Somebody on somebody's side, right? And I'm going to blame owners, and I'm going to blame obviously Mr. Manfred, right? Absolutely going to blame him on why this isn't done, because you're looking at players trying to look out for minor league players in a way, right? And try to up their money a little bit. And that's been a stalemate on that side too. This is all a joke, dude. Just give more money to people. You're giving individual players way too much money, and you're not spreading that around. And then you want to hold guys hostages for 8 years, right? Or whatever it is. It's a fucking joke, dude. Do the things the players want. The players are your league. I'm not telling you got to bow down and give them everything, but you got to. Both sides got to meet somewhere in the goddamn middle, because either you love the sport or you don't. All right, and I'm talking about the players, and I've always been hard on players about this too, because they all want to play. So come somewhere with a deal.
You got to get it done.
Somewhere with a deal that you think they're actually going to agree on, or a fucking deal that's going to last more than 15 minutes. All right, somebody come with something that we can bounce things back from. Because what we're coming with on both sides is stuff the other side's never going to agree on. So
yeah, it's low ball city or high ball city, right?
When you get to this point, Greg, it's time to be a pro on both sides. So somebody step up and say, you know what, no, this isn't okay. We got to figure this out. We got to meet in the middle on some things. I'll give you this. You don't give me that. You give me this. I don't give you that. Right? That's fucking what I want. And the fact that they're allowing this to go on is a joke, and it's so bad for a game that's already going south if you don't fucking overly love it.
Yeah.
And why? Because of Rob Manfred and the owners, right? And some of it's on the players too.
Just get it done. Just get it done.
Nobody wants to steal a bag anymore. Grow up, fucking Peter Pan. Like the games, it's so just sit there and I'm gonna wait for a 3-run homer, and that's part of baseball doing that too. It's comical. Oh, everybody's gonna come out and watch the home run, dude. People come out and watch home run derbies, right? Like people like runs, so you can score runs other ways. You know that, right? Like you can have a guy hit 30 home runs.
Tampa Bay Rays been doing it for years.
Yeah, like there's other ways to win baseball games and be exciting for people to watch, right? So they just haven't been able to figure it out, guys. I don't know what's going to happen now. Like you always want to say like, yeah, there'll be a season. Don't worry, they're not going to give up the money. I can't say that when it comes to Major League Baseball anymore. Like just the knowing what's running the show.
There better be a season.
I can't promise you nothing. I'm just saying I can't promise you. Other sports, I'm telling you, they're getting it done because they want to make money. I don't know if they even have a clue about what it means to make money. I just don't. I mean, how have they marketed their game? I could go on for 2 days. I can't do it anymore. I'm just so sick and tired of it. I'm not an old school guy being like, well, I don't care about that. Like, play baseball. Just play baseball. Never have these issues come up. Market your faces of teams, of your league, right? You have the best player in a fucking 3 decades maybe in Trout, and you never market the guy. Like, you do a shit job marketing him. Right, finally got Ohtani there, so now like the market, right? You're gonna market him more, but not even just to him. When you talk about all these players, they just do a shitty job. It's a fucking joke. I could do a better job this with my feet up of circling the league and say, you know, we got to really market this cat. Like NFL does it. We get sick of commercials, but they market their league.
You know who Baker Mayfield is.
We know where he's sleeping. I mean,
whether he's good or not, right?
Rent's through there, so he's probably gonna get kicked out of there.
Trout's actually on some commercials now, but for a while he wasn't at all. I totally agree.
Whether he's good or not, don't you even dare.
I was gonna say his dad's. Let's just keep talking. We'll be on for another hour.
No, and that's the best player I was talking about, right? So I mean, the fact that you've done not even commercials, like the league's done a bad job of it. Like, forget like doing commercials and doing extra for yourself. The league hasn't. Like, hey, league, maybe try to get the Angels good, or maybe try to get him out of there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do something to to help it.
Don't let him sign a lifetime deal in Anaheim.
I mean, that's a no-brainer, though. That one.
No, it is.
That one he had to do.
Oh, who wouldn't
going to
get paid that kind of money to play baseball? I mean, and plus he has Ohtani there, so it's not like sweeps to say tomato can City. You know, they just need some arms, and they're competitive. They are competitive, and they're going to be more competitive when he plays. He's been hurt a little bit, but
Shohei's been Shohei. I mean, he really. You would think that guys are going to want to sign there now. And Anthony Rendon was hurt all year last year, pretty much. Yeah. He's there.
And Trout and him were both hurt, but you know, like even like a guy I know we don't like him here, but even a guy like Soto, like how about you market him a little bit? Like guys like Acuna, there's tons of guys. Like, you know, Freddie Freeman's a perfect example of a guy the league should have been marketing for years because he's just a great player, right? He's just a great player. Market him, he's personable, right? Like market personable fucking people.
And you can't let that guy leave Atlanta either.
I hope to God he leaves Atlanta. Fuck you, Greg. I hope to God he leaves Atlanta.
Cannot let him leave Atlanta.
Greg,
I hope to God he leaves Atlanta.
How about Acuna and right, some of the Latin American players? How about you market them in those countries? Like, sure. I don't know. You want to make your game global like it should be? How about you market those players in those countries? I don't know. I'm just here to help. Here to fucking help.
No, I mean, you're right, Wills. From a Philly standpoint, yes, get out of here, right?
I hope to God he leaves Atlanta.
From an MLB standpoint, you can't let him leave Atlanta.
I mean, let him do whatever he wants. Fucking, he won there. He should be happy.
Right, but I'm just saying, there's certain things.
Went to Anaheim.
I hope he does. Get him out of the fucking NL East.
Well,
Fred.
The Dodgers are the hot name just because he's from there.
Yeah, Dodgers are all over the fucking place. Dodgers all over. Of course, the Dodgers are all
over.
But
how good is that for the game, right? You know what I mean? Like,
no, Anaheim would be better for the game.
The Dodgers sign another one, right? Oh, woohoo! That's so great.
They might be the favorites. They might. I don't even know. But if they signed him and like him, Rendon, Trout, Ohtani were all healthy, oh my god, oh my god, they might not even need to pitch. You know what I mean? Just throw underhand. They'll be in it. They'll compete.
All right, Crumb. I mean, I guess I'll go Crumb. I guess.
I think you said your phone's about to die, right?
Yeah, I'm on like 8%. I think. It just keeps flashing. I mean, mine's fucking Simmons. You know, I feel I gave it to him last week. I'm gonna give it to him or last time we did, I'm gonna give it to him again because he's a fucking piece of shit. And the fact that he's all ready to go now. Oh, the interview. Oh, he's trashing Philly on the interview, and now he's ready to go. I'm ready to play basketball now. Ready to play basketball. Get the fuck out of here, Ben Simmons.
Yo, Clembo.
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 What are you doing?
Clembo.
The best. Lembo, fire me up in Turkey. I love you.
Clembo.
Oh, look at you.
Dude, he goes like this. Fuck it.
Look at him.
Just fucking, he's looking for
Pull a Bob Euchre. He was like, fuck
smoking
it.
products. This fucking
Yeah, I
guy.
know what he's looking for. I'm all over. I got eyes. I got eyeballs. Eyeballs in the ears. Good for him. Relax yourself.
Yeah.
Wait,
He picked up something during
It's
the pandemic.
Christmas.
Christmas over there.
It is
Christmas over there.
Christmas night.
Perfect
Christmas
time
night.
for a tree. Perfect time for a tree, right? You know what I mean? Is there a better time for a tree than Christmas night?
For
I
another
agree.
hour. Christmas for another hour. Let's go.
If the family doesn't know, I mean, Wilson, they had
We had Christmas dinner tonight. We did.
Christmas dinner tonight. It was canceled because of obviously, COVID reasons for the family.
Yeah. Well, my parents had COVID and my aunt and uncle had COVID.
So they were able to fucking get the tree up and do it tonight.
No tree. We were treeless, but we did have Christmas
No, you're
dinner
not,
tonight.
because Glenbo just took a tree out of the
Oh well, yeah. I always have tree, but
Glenbo just carried a big tree out the roof.
That's a lot of step. That's a lot of step.
no, there's no lights on that tree though.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, there'll be a light to it.
Yeah, there is. There's light.
You have to add the light to the tree.
Yeah. Well, you gotta add the light to the tree. We gotta plug her in. All right, get to your crumb.
No, it's Ben Simmons. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Just absolute crumb. And the fact that he's ready to go now, it's just like it's what we thought the whole time, that he's just fucking lying about the mental health shit because he's just a piece of shit.
Bill's watching the Super Bowl.
Mine, I know we're trying to get out of here. I'll be quick. Mine is Juwan Howard. I mean, come on. You can't listen.
Go on.
You
I
can't
was going to go there, but I got to think about it.
Listen, I understand, the timeout. You can't press down 15 and then get pissed when a guy calls a timeout. Then you go to the back of the line, all right, and then you have your mask on, and then you side talk them, and then it gets a little confrontational. Then a bunch of other guys come over. Then you throw a punch. You're a fucking leader of young men. Grow the fuck up. You understand? Like, that's a terrible example. Enjoy your suspension. I don't want to fucking hear it, right? That's fucking atrocious, right? When you're fucking pressing, you're opening up everything, right? It's the same thing like in baseball. Right? If I'm down 10-0 and somebody steals, yeah, I'm going to be hot. But if the inning before I stole down 10-0, then I opened it back up. All right, I would never do that. I'm not a cheese dick. All right, and I understand the game. Right, right. When you're getting beat 10-0, you shut it down too. Right, and there's going to be people saying, "What are you talking about?" You shut it down too. Right, you try to get 4 hits to try to score and maybe have a big inning yourself. You don't steal down 10-0 either side. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So that's a little coaching ethics for everybody out there from your Uncle Sweet.
Yeah, plus you should be happy you got guys on base. You should be trying to fucking score runs, not get guys thrown out.
Stop pressing. The other night, you got a tee. You stepped on the court. You got a fucking tee. Yep. You're starting to take the heat. All right, you're fucking pressing down 15. I don't know what you're trying to prove, but that's fine. If you want to play to the final buzzer and you want to teach that to your kids, absolutely. This guy calls timeout. What are you woofing about? All right, and then you're going to throw a punch. Absolutely uncalled for. Fucking joke. You want to wait for him outside. You want to call the whole fucking team outside. You want to meet them in Wisconsin. That's fine. There's fucking kids around. They're fucking young. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah. Then they're going to start fighting. You know that once you do that, they're going to start throwing some punches.
Yeah, they're going to have.
And another thing to him is like that's right there, Greg or Sweep. Sorry, is how you go from top 5 team in the preseason to a team that's probably going to be in the NIT. Bad leadership.
They might be lucky to be in the NIT right now.
Listen, I'm all for it. Like, if one guy's coaching, the other guy should coach, right? So, like, that's how I look at it too. Sweeps, like, so one guy's coaching the press and still play the game hard, right? So the other guy's saying, okay, we didn't execute something. Let's get a timeout here, and we're going to coach it up because these are kids, right? Your job is to coach it up. So, he wants to call a timeout. That's what you're getting upset about. He's really just upset because he got blown out again. And it seems not playing well. So, I mean, you should be more upset about that, Jawan, and take some accountability on yourself. But listen, I understand the heat of the battle. I get it, right? We've all been in games where it gets heated.
I got my players' backs. I'm passionate. I'm fired up. There's nothing more I would love than a good coaches fight. Love it. You know what I mean? But understand that you're culpable. You're responsible for what just happened. Yeah. Right. So then you wait till there's another chance where you can, you want to act like a fool. That's fine. Not on fucking TV, in front of fans, in front of your own players that you're trying to set an example for, to be scholar athletes. You know what I mean? Like, and for them to, of course they're going to have your back. You know what I mean? You want them to understand, that, listen, I got to be fucking, when we grow up, we become adults, we got to be men about things. We got to understand that, listen, I got to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? That's on me. This is on me. Right? So I might not like what that guy did, but I fucking got this fucking snowball started. I fucking started this fucking snowball.
Yeah. And listen, again, at the end of the day, you want to say some things to the other guy, say some things, right? But you don't got to be throwing punches. Right? Like, that's where I got no problem. You got something to say, get off your chest. Don't get off your chest. Maybe it's something that stemmed from another moment, right? I don't know. So get it off your chest. Your example isn't being like, you're not saying a bad example for getting fired up over something. Yeah. You're saying a bad example because you're throwing punches. That's where you draw the line to me. And you obviously, and everybody here, like, dude, get up in somebody's grill. You got something to say. I got no problem with that shit. If you think somebody did something bush league, then say something.
Or if you're going to throw the punch, throw the punch. Don't wait to be held back by like 20 guys and throw it like through 3 people, right? Like, if you're going to throw it, just throw it when you're shaking his hand.
I mean, you're
like,
going to get suspended. You're going to get suspended anyway. You might as well connect.
Might as well make it worth it, right?
I'm starting to get a little choppy here. I might be dropping out. If I drop out, fucking everyone have a great week, and hopefully James Harden plays Friday.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Go ahead, Greg.
Merry Christmas. Sweet stole mine. I was gonna go on Juwan. It started obviously with the tech for stepping on the court with a live ball. But I'm gonna go with the casual golf fans that have come out after the Waste Management Open last week and have come out and shown displeasure and hatred, I guess you want to say, towards which is one of the most fun tournaments to watch in golf, right? After a couple beer showers and some hole-in-ones at the patented 16th hole there at TPC Scottsdale. It's the Waste Management is a party. It's a party tournament. The players know it. All the fans know it. It's one of the most fun tournaments to watch, and of course play and be at. And then of course you get 2 hole-in-ones, and you have Joel Damon and Henry Higgs taking their shirts off, and just a whole huge party there at 16. And of course, the casual golf fan who isn't aware of what this tournament has become, come out and it's not what golf is all about. Blah 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 blah. Shut up. Go back to your hole of not watching golf, or at least just pick another weekend to watch the tournament. Leave this tournament out there,
or just ask, because I would say, like, is it the casual fan or is it the old school guy?
It's a little bit both.
It's a little bit both. I was physically going to ask you. I thought it was fantastic, but I said to my father-in-law, "I've never seen this before, so this must be something. This must be something at the course.
Tournament.
This must be something at the course." Yep. Where you make a hole in one and the whole
bananas.
The whole world stops. You know what I mean? So yep. I thought the same thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not casual. I wouldn't be defined as anything. Anything. I thought it would be from like more maybe some old school guys. As opposed.
Yeah, you're right. It's a little bit of both. Yeah, it's a little bit of both, and I just lumped it all into the casual fan. You're right. It is some of the old school people like, oh, that's not what golf is. But then you turn around this week and they're at Riviera and there's nothing, right? It's just they're there being fans as normal as any other golf tournament, right? But like last week at Waste Management is that's what it is. It's a party, and that's what that whole weekend's about. It's a blast, but yeah, so that's where I'll go.
Yeah, I totally meant to ask you about that last Sunday, because it was just, like I said, it was something I'd never seen before. So, which didn't make it a bad thing. I just thought, like, ones are fantastic, but I'm like, I never saw this before. Now, obviously, you're not going to see this in Augusta, but Waste Management. I mean, I figured Tony Soprano was running it. Right? You know what I mean? It's hey, Johnny Goomba, you see that? He's played it. Fucking beers on the house. Let's go.
Check this though. Next year. It's the Waste Management Open's the same weekend every week. It's at second weekend in February. But now, because the NFL has added that extra week, the Waste Management and the Super Bowl are both in Scottsdale next year.
Wow.
Really?
The same weekend.
Well, they're praying for whole months.
Oh my God, that place is going to be out of control next year.
That's funny.
And you can add the NBA All-Star Weekend on to some crumbs too on our way out. The dunk contest just is a joke. Not what it used to be. The whole weekend's a little bit of a fraud show. But the reason I don't put them ahead or even Jawan is because baseball leads the way.
Sure.
Leads the way till you get a deal done. I said 2 weeks ago. They're on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
And it's fucking bullshit for us guys who love it. At least college is going on, so everybody out there enjoy what little baseball you're getting, and hopefully we'll have that. But hopefully we'll have James Harden by Friday night, and that would be a great start to our run and where we need to get to. And I think we all agree that the Eagles could use a franchise quarterback. So some clean sweeps, some disagreements, a lot of fun. We appreciate everybody out there that commented in tonight. If you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Stay with us because we're here for you. Over 15 live shows and more stuff coming. Big stuff is coming. Big stuff on the horizon for everybody at A2D and everybody out there that's watching us.
Exactly. I hear you, buddy. Here's to a mild March. You know what I mean? Because if the adults are going to hold out, let's hope that us high school guys, us college guys, us youth baseball guys can get outside and enjoy the game we love. If the adults are going to fucking act like losers.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm over inside.
Yep.
This is part of the year when you're like, okay, we've been in for enough. Need to hit you a fly ball. Like the throw to fly ball just doesn't do it for me in here. No matter how I do it, because like I need to read off the bat. Like it's just people are like, why do you never do outfield drills? And I'm like, I'll do them once in a while. But I'm like, I need your feet to work.
Drop step right, go get the ball.
Yeah,
15 feet in the air.
Yep.
Right. So the first ball hit you outside, you get all tangled up. All right, like you're flying a kite, your gloves up, like you're goddamn Ben Franklin, and you're nowhere near it. It don't make any sense.
I need your feet to work. If your feet work, then we're good. You're an athlete. We can and we'll adjust to the ball off the bat when we get out there. But whatever. We need to get outside. But great show, boys. For Brian Wilson, who enjoyed a great Christmas tonight.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we thank him for taking the time to join us. Greg Milakovic, Nick DelGozzo. I'm Tom Arnone. Like I said, big things coming. HUD Radio and the NFL Draft. So really excited about that. Everybody out there should be because we're gonna have every first round pick on with us, and it's gonna be crazy. I think I'm sweating. I think I'm like dripping right now. I always tell people I got to remember when Zach Gallen came on here. Because when Gals came on here, I was like, man, because not only a low guy, but he's coming off a big monster year, right, too. So we're getting him off a monster year, and you're like, all right. So you got to talk yourself into it a little bit when you don't know somebody, right? So you got to talk yourself into it. And I'm like, all right, I'm not going to hit 96, right? Like you're coming to do what I do, and the same thing goes. And the same thing goes for draft night. I ain't trying to cover you, right? I'm a talker. So you're coming to what I do, and whoever's with me. So right? I mean, that's how you gotta not trick your brain. But when you haven't done it a ton,
you'll be you'll be fine. Like I said, I'm glad you brought it up because on the way out the door, sometimes you get caught up in everything, and we get and when we're doing our crumbs, we get all fired up. You know what I mean? But and I know you. Won't give yourself any credit, but congratulations to you and all the boys that are behind the scenes and everything that that's been there from day one and continue to build this up and grow it and putting their time and effort in and all you guys deserve all the fucking rewards that come with it. You know what I mean? So couldn't be happy for Tom and everybody that's and all the A2D boys.
Listen, it's been a long time coming. A lot of work from a lot of people. Right? I always say that, a lot of work from a lot of people. Day one when I started, I was like, listen, you can't. You want to do it all by yourself? You need an arsenal. You need an arsenal of people that believe in the same thing you believe in, right? And I've always said I appreciate that more than anything that everybody that's here believes enough in me, right? Like that means more to me than anything. Like enough people believe enough in me to stay here and trust, air quote, trust the process. And because of those people and because everybody out there listening, this is why we're getting to do what we're going to be able to get to do. And that only leads to us beginning to do even more things that we probably never imagined we would be doing, right? Like, it's always goals, but I always just like I just want to do a show. If I get players, that's great, right? But now we're trying to not only have what we're trying to do different than anybody out there is we're not only trying to give you the real fan perspective on things, we're then trying to give you guys who played the games at the highest levels, and those guys doing shows on HUD radio, right? We already have one in Marcus. Like we're looking for the pro perspective on things as well, right? And I think when you have that mix, it's a great mix. Listen, we all play sports, so I'm not knocking us, right? I'm not knocking our ability or our knowledge, because that's why you want the fan perspective, and especially guys that know it and have been around it or played it, right? Like I always feel like I played every sport I'm talking about. We all did, right? Every sport I talk about, I played at some level, right? Played my whole life. So you know the game by then, right? It's a simple 101, right? So here we are, and then I think that's what we wanted to get out of this.
I think that's a huge point on the way out the door that you were making, because there's always two ends of the spectrum. There's always like I said, it's great to have that mix of the guys that maybe they weren't in the pros, but know what they're talking about, and then you have that pro perspective, because we've seen both sides of it, like Jordan's never coached in his life, right? Because not because Mike doesn't know the game, Mike just can't. We can't relate to today's player, he wants everybody to be him. It just wasn't for him, So and there's other guys that didn't have that kind of career, but know the game and are great coaches, Yep. In this business, there's guys that know radio and goes into it, knows the ins and outs of it. You guys especially, and it's always good to get both sides of that.
Yeah, and listen, Ted said discovered you guys during COVID dark times. Couldn't see my family who was 5 minutes away. HUD was huge during 2020, and I'm going to tell you that means a lot, because
appreciate you.
There was probably a 2 or 3 day window when everything happened, and just got done building the studio, right? Literally just got done. We were just getting in here, and I said, like, am I gonna have to fold this company? Like all this work, like we're not gonna have sports, like we're just gonna shut down. And I said to myself, like, no, like we talk sports our whole life. Like we've been creative when talking sports our entire life. Like we can talk about anything sports related and have a conversation. So how can we bring something to everybody out there that needs us? Because if we go away during this period, what does that say about us? And I think when I said that to all the guys, there wasn't one guy who said no. Like I can't do it. Like everybody was like, yeah, let's go. Like we'll think of things to do. We'll be here for each other. And I think that's the other side of it. Like we were all here for each other. There was tons of shows going off, and we were all getting a chance to still see each other and see people and talk to people. Listen, that's what I wanted to bring. We did fucking so many things. We did drafts. Remember, we do so many fun things that like we've done our whole life. Driving in the car, talking sports with your buddy. This is easy to us. Talking sports is easy to us. But listen, again, I said it in the video. Obviously, can't get it done without everybody that's here, right? But you can't get it done without an audience, right? There has to be an audience here that's watching us and loves us like we love them, and that's what we have here.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? That's what we have. And tell your friends, like Nate says, tell your friends to tell a motherfucking friend, right? Come for the ride. Come for the ride. It's enjoyable. Like for a guy who's been riding this for 7 years, it's an enjoyable ride. And I think that's how I can relate. Listen, that's how I relate to my kids in sports. Like it's a grind. It's a marathon. Am I getting better every day? Look at the shirt. Look at perfect timing. Like it's a marathon. If you think you're sprinting to Division I baseball, right? Or you think you're sprinting to the pros, you're misguided. You're misguided. So everything's a marathon. Can I get better every day I walk in? Do I not waste opportunities and waste reps? And, it goes hand in hand. And for us, we haven't missed a rep. For everybody here, for everybody here, for the people that left, we appreciate your time.
You got better, right? Like I said, during the times that were just, like Ted's saying, that's some dark times, you know what I mean? Like in the country and all, whatever, you know what I mean? But, the interview series was absolutely fantastic, right? That's what that coupled with all the other content and all the other creative ways to are you smarter than a fifth grader? We played a lot of things. What I mean? We did a lot of things. Not us. A2D did a lot of things, and it was just awesome to see. Just awesome.
Listen, we had we had so much fun with it without sports, right?
Oh yeah.
And we had some A2D poker late night, some Hawaii games, right? And it was like we all felt like we were together, right? Like it was. Listen, you never want those times to come back, but you look back and you're like, man, that was in a semi-way an enjoyable 3 months. Like there's off, you know what I mean? Like it's just off for 3. Like everybody just sit home, sit relax. I love throwing my feet up. Like I love it. Love throwing my feet up for a minute. So, as bad as the times were, listen, like you said, it's great to have each other and have everybody out there because we listen, everybody here, we brought them something like Sweets was saying. We brought content. We brought conversation. Mm-hmm. And not only on the audio side, but the visual side. So there was tons of things, and we got a bunch of people who love just fucking talking sports, and that's it. And we started to get opinions off your chests. So we'll end it there. That's what we started.
For sure.
Like I did an internship at 97.3 ESPN. For what? For what? Like then they tell you 3 to 5 years experience. Well, how do I get that? I know how I get that. And guess what? Now that I'm going to go get that, I'm going to take the whole world over. That's what I'm going to do. Because people probably said he's not good enough. I love it. Because people, you know what I mean? I live off of somebody telling me you can't do it. And when I first started, people questioned it like it was nobody's business. 7 years ago, social wasn't even as big as it was now, right? So you're talking about there was no live online shows. Nobody was bringing that content. And I'm not crowning us. Nobody's bringing that content. So, we've been doing it. We've been doing it. And like Sweet said, everybody here's gotten better at it. We've all gotten better. So love it. Great little rant.
Yeah. Going. Jair Alexander might be better than Ramsey. You blew me up earlier. Great job by you. I mean, I didn't have an answer for it, and he probably isn't. I'm just saying. I wish I had that. 2 hours ago. I wish I had it 2 hours ago when you fucking crucified me.
I could say Tre'Davious White might be better. Bills, but
I wanted to go Bradbury, but I'm like, no, I can't.
No, Bradbury, you can't do. But White for the Bills, if he didn't get hurt, is a good name. And J.C. Jackson's a pretty good name in New England. Like, Darius Slay's a pretty good name here in Philly. Like, there's some really good corners. He just gets the nod now because he got a ring. He get beat 15 times in that game. They come out winning, he got a ring. and he was a big leader of a defense that went to an AFC title game that had no right being there.
Sure.
No right being there.
Yeah, that's true.
No right. Blake fucking Bortles. Blake Bortles. That's why we don't have that defense. We ain't going there with Jalen. Where was my read? Damn it. Our show.
We were leaving. Shit.
Our show.
Told the girls I'll be up in an hour. Yeah.
Yep. So it's the same thing.
He goes, yeah, right.
An hour. Heard that a million times. Oh my God. Happy birthday to my niece. Turned 1 on Thursday. Great party today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Great party.
Happy birthday.
And listen, do you have damage to your home or property? We might be able to help. Don't fight your homeowner's insurance alone. Contact Araya Public Adjusting at 813-564-3364. It's my buddy Sean Klein and Al, and they do a tremendous job. We try to bring in people that we know here, and these are great guys. They're working out of Florida, but they can get you taken care of in I believe 16 states. PA is one of them. So anybody out there that needs them, make sure you go contact Araya Public Adjusting, our buddy Sean Kling and our buddy Al, 813-564-3364. And every single Sunday for a long time, we have been brought to you by our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, located in Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And you can find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. And he's also all over all your social media platforms. So they accept most major insurances. So if you got insurance, go see our doc. We love them. And remember, BetUS is pinned right in our comments over on YouTube, pinned at the top. Okay? You can go get 125% sign-up bonus just by using that link right in there. You don't even have to put a promo in.
It works in Florida.
Woo! Go dabble. Go dabble. Listen, we love you all out there. Stay tuned. You got Monday morning quarterback tomorrow night, followed by the Sports Hounds and the boys on the Flight Zone. So a lot coming up tomorrow. Make sure you're with us. Hit subscribe, hit the like. We are out of here.